I went down that road far enough with my Trans Am because that was a clean original car. And to be honest, I looked at a lot of stuff you did because I'm like, I think this guy probably knows his shit. Like, you've done a lot of those cars.
I came home one day and told her I quit doing computers. And she's like, what do you mean you quit? And I'm like, well, I'm do my own thing. And she's like, what is that? And I basically rented a little 1,500 square foot body shop that was vacant. Hired a couple of guys away from a local collision shop, and we started working on a couple of my Trans Ams that I had in my collection at the time that I wanted to get done because I didn't like the way other people were doing it when I was outsourcing it.
So you went down there and said, this is the cool stuff that I went to school for.
I go, this is what I went to school for. And Dave's like, cool, yeah, maybe we'll think about it. And I ended up having to come back the next week and be like, hey, did you think about it? And finally one day he's like, sure, if you want to start, go ahead. Gave me the job, and I'm like, I'm not leaving until you say yes, or at least give me a shot. So,
You don't have anything you want to ask about Burt? You're such a big Burt Reynolds fan. This is like this is an opportunity for you. Is there anything you want to know?
You don't go fishing in stock ponds. That's not. That ain't even. It's like going to look at this 5-pound bass I just caught, and you paid to fish there. I mean, I can ask it. You know the answer.
Anything that you've wondered about him? Like, he knows him. He's hung out with him.
He doesn't know him. I don't want to taint what I feel about Burt, right? Okay. So I don't want to know any kind of if he's gonna be like, yeah, you know, it's kind of a fucking asshole. I don't want to know that. Welcome back to another episode of Oil and Whiskey. This week we have a twofer. We have two. We have both of you. We got Dave Hall and Tyler Flaherty from Restore Muscle Car, all the way from Nebraska.
Yes, sir.
Glad to have you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us out.
Yeah, this is you've got a more diverse background than the traditional hot rod builder that we have on here. So we're interested in talking about how that happened. And we started talking a little bit before we were off camera, and you started telling me, you know, computer science. And I was like, well, save it. I want to learn it in the real time.
Damn. Yeah, I just know you as having a badass shop and building killer Trans Ams because I'm a Trans Am guy myself, and I followed you guys forever. I mean, you guys got a killer image. Everything looks bitchin'. Handle some really killer muscle cars. Been doing some cool trucks. So yeah, I'm curious what the story is, man.
Did you see the Trans Am downstairs?
How it all started.
The white one.
Oh, I was gravitated towards it as soon as I walked in. I saw the parts.
Do you want to hit us afterwards, or?
No. Actually,
it's all looking good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, Jeremy was kind of giving me a little bit of insight at SEMA and stuff this year. He was kind of telling me he's planning on finally getting that in, working on it. So.
Yeah, we finally had a little window, which I think is about to be closed tomorrow because these damn customer cars that have to get done, you know. So we slid it in, and now it's going to go on the back burner for a little bit. But maybe this
solid week worth of work on it.
Maybe this summer we'll see it.
Well, we have some insight that we want to talk about on your car too that we can help you with to help make it move along a little bit quicker.
I've got a solution for that shaker.
Good. The guys were saying because that one's uncharted waters for us. You know, we've built plenty of Camaros, put a lot of chassis in our cars, never built a Trans Am. And yeah, there's a few loose ends, like getting the shaker hood functional through the hood, obviously.
It's been trial and error for a long time, but I think we've came up with a pretty solid solution now.
Well, I'm going to take you up on that because that is surprisingly harder than it looks. There's not a lot of space between the top of that manifold and where that shaker belongs to keep it in proportion. And you got to get filtered air in there somehow.
It sounds like it's solved now. They solved it.
That's the best part about this community.
100%.
They probably got the shit kicked out of them trying to find that solution. And found it.
But we wanted something where the shaker sat on the motor, and I don't like shakers mounted to hoods, and everybody tends to go down that path because
it's the easy approach.
Yes, it's the easy way, and
So he's always just said, make it work.
So
and that's what I've had to do. It doesn't matter what engine mounts I have, it's always just been make it work. But now we found you can mount the throttle body inside of the shaker base.
Cool.
And then we've got a really good air cleaner setup. So
nice.
Because at 500, you start running out of air with that setup.
Yep.
So this should fix it.
Well, Casey Wagner built that motor, so I'm sure it's good for at least 325.
Yeah. Actual or published numbers?
At the crank, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. 250 to the wheels, maybe. Yeah, it ought to be a ripper. So
did 800 on the engine dyno. You got to understand, it goes through the trans and then through the.
There's that, and the guy we're all scratching our head how to make the AC work. Right? It's funny. like for some people, that is such a simple thing. We look at it like that's trying to get a rocket ship powered up. You know, the factory air, we're so used to everything's got a vintage air kit.
Right. Yep,
and
exactly.
integrate the factory air into it. I'm like, dude, I have no idea.
You're trying to make fire with a little bow.
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
about what it feels like.
Orifice tube and charge it, right?
The wiring side of it, getting
Oh.
all the vacuum stuff. I mean, it's there's
Oh,
then
the
integrating
blends.
it in. It's
The key to that is not taking it apart.
yeah. It's one of it's like an automatic transmission. That thing can have 700,000 miles on it and just keep working. As soon as you fuck with it,
Hey, you know, let me just drop that pan and see what's in there. Oh,
All
let
those vacuum lines that go into that diaphragm or whatever that is, it just, you have to have all those right. We have all the diagrams and stuff at the shop.
And they
Sweet.
changed it every year. It's
Did
not
they?
like they
Yeah.
could just leave it alone.
Keep it exciting.
that's another point for we did possibly go to the moon. If you dissect one of those, dude, it's not far fetched. It's not hard to believe that we landed on the moon in the '60s.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down that road again.
No, I know.
It's just making
It is a notch for the pro. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Go to the moon.
That and the Lincoln Continental.
Lincoln Continental doors and the top, and GM 70s GM vacuum blend doors.
Oh, yeah.
Makes a good case for. Well, how did this all get started? You get officially started what? Early 2000s, right?
2005, the shop started. Before that, I basically grew up the oldest of 5 boys, and my dad owned a dealership, a rental car business, and a full service center. And growing up, I basically kind of got, I think from the age 11 or 12, thrown in and started helping him at the shop. I like to just play with the cars and stuff, and I learned a lot of the mechanics and stuff at a young age, and so it came pretty natural to me because I was working with his techs and stuff at the time. But
What dealership? Pontiac?
no, actually, it was just a used car dealership.
Okay.
He actually was worked for a Ford dealership and ran their used car division, and then left them and started his own used car dealership, and then kind of grew that. And so then, over the years, growing up through junior high, high school, and college, I basically worked for him full time or in between school and stuff. And then when I was getting ready to graduate, I always knew that I could fall back on cars because it was very easy and natural for me. But I wanted to get into computer science. We had some friends in the family that were into computers at the time and developing software for law firms and stuff. And so he was kind of guiding me to go get my degree because they needed programmers. They couldn't find any at the time. So I went to the University of Nebraska. They couldn't teach the new languages fast enough because it was all developing so quick. That was right kind of at the age of the internet when it was starting and American Online and stuff. And so I had to transfer to a tech school so I could actually learn Turbo C and a lot of the newer languages and stuff, so I could actually develop software. And then within 2 years, graduated from there, got hired on at Farm Bureau Insurance, and within a few years took over their IT department, managed the entire state of Nebraska's computer network for Farm Bureau Insurance, and was doing AS400s and setting up networking. And then I got involved with a group of professors from the University of Nebraska, and I helped them spin off a company through our Nebraska Technology Park. And so we started developing software for Fortune 500 companies, internet-based web applications, e-commerce for Omaha Steaks. We started their first e-commerce system and managed that for years, and then eventually handed it off to their programmers because it kept growing way too big. And then my passion for cars kind of came back around. Stepped back just a little bit in high school. My last couple of years in high school, I bought a 72 Trans Am, and it was a secondary car to my 75 Blazer that I would drive every day to school. So those
It's
were
a nice lineup.
Yeah.
my passions, basically, that kind of started where we ended up coming. That's why the shop kind of came back around because I loved working with the cars. I obviously loved the Trans Ams, and when I got into college, I ended up selling my 72, bought a 79 Smoking the Bandit Trans Am, started playing with that because it had T-tops, working air. It was a little bit more fun to take out with friends and stuff like that. And then the computer industry took over for me for about 15 years, and so it was a hobby for me for while I was doing computer stuff. So, and when I met my wife, Michelle, we got married, started our family. I think I came home one day and told her I quit doing computers, and she's like, "What do you mean you quit?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna go do my own thing." And she's like, "What is that?" And that's when I kind of started doing some computer consulting, and I started a shop. I basically rented a little 1,500 square foot body shop that was vacant, hired a couple of guys away from a local collision shop, and we started working on a couple of my Trans Ams that I had in my collection at the time that I wanted to get done because I didn't like the way other people were doing it when I was outsourcing it, trying to do stuff out of my house at the time. And
so that shop was just to build finish a couple of the cars you wanted to do.
For my cars,
yeah.
And I was still doing computer consulting at the time. But we were actually, when I went home and told her that, she told me, she said, "Well, you quit your job and I'm pregnant with our second child." So we have two girls.
Surprise.
And I'm like, everything will be fine. We'll figure it out. But I was just burned out on the whole computer industry. I enjoy it and enjoyed it a lot. And I still have some involvement in it, especially with the shop stuff that we're doing that I'll get into later. But it's a 24/7 job. So when computers don't sleep, and I was involved everything from sales to technical support to hardware. And so when the sales team and the developers would go home, I'd be back at the shop ripping out equipment, hooking up hardware, getting networking going, working on the firewalls, switching out rules and stuff. I would program a lot of the rules and stuff for our security and stuff like that. So
what percentage of tech support was solved by turning it off and turning it back on?
Oh, 90%.
Unplug it. You got to unplug it. Wait 10 seconds, though, too.
Yeah, exactly. Count to 10.
It's the universal.
But so when we started the shop, it was kind of one of those things that at the time there was like what do you call it, groups on the internet where people would were talking about
forums
working on
and stuff.
forums.
Yeah.
So I didn't like controversy on forums, but I would just post pictures and say, "Hey, I'm building my car. This is what I'm doing." And at the time, everybody, why would you restore a car unless it was exactly the way it was built from the factory? The way GM did it or Pontiac did it or whoever it was that you were building the car for, it had to be the right nut with the right insignia on top of it, turned to the right angle, all that stuff. I didn't care as much about that. I wanted to actually tweak it my way, customize it. I mean, growing up as a kid, you want a little louder sound system, better exhaust, wheels and tires. You make the car your own. You don't want to pull into a gas station and have somebody else pull in with the same car. It's like that. You don't get the same effect.
It's funny when you think about that. Going to those lengths to restore a car when a 70 Trans Am. I mean, Ron was on the assembly line on a Friday, zipping that fucking nut on with an impact or an air ratchet. He didn't give a shit about it. Maybe that one went on a little deeper. Maybe he marked it with a marker afterwards, and here we are, like 40, 50 years later, trying to replicate that.
Yeah.
Like it was some super passionate creation, like a piece of art, right?
Right. Yeah, and you had the
Red
Friday drunk
yeah.
car come through. It was whatever.
Yeah.
And that's that, you're talking about the controversy on the forums. That's when it gets into, especially when it comes to like the Shelby stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "Nope, I'm telling you right now, this thing's never been touched. The red oxide goes all the way up to the taillight." And then the 15 others are like, "Nope, that never happened. We've got documentation." And like you said, drunk Ron, on that one Friday, he might have sprayed that red oxide up to the tail.
A little bit up the cowl that time,
And then to get it all done, and like back to your point of you pulling up to the gas station, and if you pull up to that one and it's got the correct red oxide, at no point are you like, check mine out. It's got the right insignia on those bolts. I can tell that you've replaced those with grade 8. It's not exactly how they used to.
I went down that road far enough with my Trans Am because that was a clean original car. And to be honest, I looked at a lot of stuff you did because I'm like, I think this guy probably knows his shit. Like, you've done a lot of those cars. Like, he probably figured it out, right?
Right.
Looked at, to see what the bottoms of the cars look like, just some general color. Because I just mimicked it's certainly not an original car, but, the exhaust is Cerakoted to look original. The floor was all original red oxide primer. You detail a few things, but by no means going to that length to replicate everything. It's just not.
You most of the time, like you said, when you're doing it, you're going to change the things that were subpar.
Yeah, 100%.
And make it stop better.
Over restore the car, basically. Yeah. And I mean, starting out, you feel like because that's what everybody's commenting about, you feel like you need to then go that direction. So that's, we would take the nuts and bolts off. We'd tag everything. We'd put it, keep track of it. I'd send it off to get plated the right color, bring it back, try and put it back together. It gets to a point to where it's like, and I don't have a problem with that people that want to do that, and we still do that to some extent, but at the same time, a majority of our business has grown towards the custom chassis, the custom motors, the modern suspension. People want to be able to get in the car, turn the key, and go, and not worry about it. And so that's where it's going. Otherwise, there is the show pieces that have the right insignia bolts that sit in a corner, or they put on a trailer and take it to the show.
Yep.
And they win their trophies, and that is their own thing.
It's a skill set in and of its own.
It is definitely.
It's just such a different skill set.
It's a different skill set.
I don't want to put it down because it's cool to look at a car that's done that way. I can definitely appreciate a car that somebody spent
it's a lot of work.
That kind of time, and it's a talent.
Cool
it's just not my.
It's not fun.
my talent.
It's the ADD in the hot rod industry that just
I'm intrigued by the historical referencing and the archaeological dig of hunting that down, right? Either the part or the figuring out the way it is, or reading about why some of the things were done, especially when something is held to such a high regard or a standard, whether it be overspray, not to beat a dead horse, but overspray or something like that, and then finding out that the reason that was done was because 73 and a half, they started yanking these parts off of another line and doing that. I find that intriguing of that part of it. On the flip side, I hate the rules part of it, because it's like the guidelines of saying, no, it has to be done this way because you've started down this path and you have to follow the guidelines. The only reason I ever, I think, was so intrigued with cars in general was the customizing aspect, because it was anti-rules. Yeah. There was nobody, regardless, there's style and then there's not. There's personal taste and there's not. But the fact of you could go out and customize your vehicle whatever way you possibly want to and make it work was what I'm always been drawn to. So the flip side is that's so cool to go do that, but I hate the rules of having to follow you have to do it that way.
Hot rodding's a little counterculture, right? It's sort of rebellious. It's
not doing the thing that is following the rules.
And taking these cars along, and you're dealing with clients and what they want and the direction they want to go. Every customer is different. Every customer has a different set of goals and needs and wants, and let alone a budget. So figuring all that out can help guide that path on how you're going to finish out a
on
car.
The budget side of things, modern days, like today's, and a guy does come in and say, I want this, we're going down the factory nut and bolt, all the way, concourse level restoration. How does the budget discussion get weighed in? Because again, just like building anything, to do it right takes what it takes. That cost is going to be X.
Right.
And regardless of how good that is, you've gone down that path. The market for a restored car is the market for a restored car. It's not in a custom world. If somebody just likes the way that one was done, or it's faster, whatever. It's a '69 Camaro custom could be a broad range, multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in difference.
Judging by the recent auction results, I mean, you got Copo Camaros now bringing like 7 figures. When did that happen?
That must have happened like overnight because I did not realize that they had hit that. I mean, the 69 Camaros have now really risen up in value, which, I mean, I've had all those cars in my collection and stuff, and, you know, stuff rotates in and out and as I like and don't like or get bored with stuff. But it's a never changing, and everybody's, you know, wants and needs. We all know how that evolves, and especially with you guys now getting into the 3rd and 4th generation cars, Camaros, GTAs, stuff like that. I mean, that's all, we're seeing the same thing, you know, coming down the pike. So it's just, you know, keeping up with the Joneses and what people want, what the younger generation wants. Tyler's taught me a lot of the things that, you know, with him being younger than me, and I have a lot of our staff is actually, you know, his age. You know, I like a lot of the things that they like, but didn't realize that it was going to be something I really want to restore, you know. So
yeah, that's tough. I mean, I think we're all sort of getting to be the old guys. You know, at what point do we reach that stage where, like,
he's rolling his eyes?
Yeah, where
we are old.
You know, we just gotta kind of come to grips with the fact that the younger guys know what's hip, and
they do. The 80s and 90s stuff, though, we've been talking about it for at least 5 or 6 years of, you know, as OBS started creeping in, and it's like, what's the next thing? Well, it's going to be all the 80s and 90s stuff. It's wild. Just in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks of talking to people, that this is, it's just getting started.
Well, it's 100%, it's infancy right now.
You've got, you know, Alan Johnson debuted, you know, a rad Trans Am, right? That's second gen, right? But going down that style, he's talking about building something else that's obviously...
that's just going to propel him to new heights. I mean, levels that haven't been achieved yet in this industry.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Levels, yeah. Bobby Alloway's calling. He's building a Fox body, right? He's going to build it. So Bobby Alloway is going to build a Fox body.
Yeah,
you've got
that's a little surprising.
It's surprising, right? Troy's building a 3rd gen. Now, let's face it, he started building that when the 3rd gens were still new. He's been building it for that long, but
off the dealer floor.
I think it was actually a prototype. But that's levels. Obviously, there's so many other builders out there that are building Fox bodies right now. I mean, on our chassis, doing some crazy stuff. There's Grand Nationals being built and stuff. But when you see some of the, we're talking about being old, right? Some of the older than us, the guys that we looked up to that have been in the traditional hot rod world, right, in the set trends there, putting their spin on the 80s and 90s stuff, it's going to be around for a while, right? That adoption rate is faster than anything else on other stuff.
Right now, the way I see it, you remember being at like a Good Guys show probably, I don't know the exact, let's say 2005, 2006, and you'd see that was when pro touring wasn't really a thing yet, but people were just kind of street rodding some muscle cars.
You'd see a muscle car with big wheels.
Remember that black 69 Camaro with I think it was red interior, 59 Chevy dash, hammered on the ground.
It was a Whidbey car, I'm sure.
Yeah. And you were like, none of us were messing with muscle cars to that level, and you saw that roll through. And there's one of those, right?
Yes.
And fast forward 5, 6, 10 years, there's 69, modified badass 69 Camaros everywhere you look to a high level. It's the same thing. Right now, that's it. You've got one guy rolling through that built a really bitchin' Fox body, you know, and that's going to come through, and people look at it and they're like, somebody's got to be the first to the dance, you know, on the dance floor. And then once that happens, everybody's going to start joining in, and then it's a slow roll, and then all of a sudden you're going to realize that there's fucking IROCs and Fox bodies and GTAs and stuff.
I thought it was going to be a slower roll from like the bottom up, where it was going to be some pretty cool ones that you see, and you're like, oh man, that's nice with some wheels on it, and then they get nicer and nicer, right? And then you'd have some adoption. I didn't realize it was going to basically be like start from the top, and it's wild.
Well, I think everybody wants to make a splash.
Yeah,
you know,
you want to come out and
so they're going to try and build something that hasn't been done yet to make the splash. I mean, for us, we started building Trans Ams that were worth $20,000 done, but you'd have to spend $100,000 at the time to get them done. And everybody's like, why would you do that? That's stupid. you know. So, but it's like that's what we started doing. It's like the Smokey and the Bandit car for us, the black and gold, it's obviously the iconic Trans Am. If you talk to anybody, you know, of our generation and stuff, it's like, what do you remember from, you know, the Trans Am? You
Right.
remember the car from the movie. But
It's Rocky, right, when it was debuted first.
Yeah, that was the one Stallone drove in Rocky 1, I think, right there at the end when he got a little money in his pocket.
Yeah, nobody remembers that part of that movie. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a memorable car for sure.
so we were building those cars, and became basically.
Oh yeah, we need a drink.
Say, we need a drink over here.
Yeah, go
They
ahead.
get a little parched.
Oh,
sweet.
Little book.
Wow.
Damn. That's
We
a
got
great.
some
That's a
great.
that's
shirts
a
and hats for you guys,
first
too.
ever on the podcast.
That is.
I don't know I've ever had that.
I've never had.
I've never had
It's
it either.
one of my favorites.
That's
a-
a. That's a.
And
hell
we
of a
got
bottle.
lucky and we found one today.
Really?
Yeah.
Great job.
Damn.
That's a rarity.
How does it come out of there?
Get a pry bar. And
Yeah. Well, thanks for that, guys. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I'll let you.
It's rare after 3 years of doing this and probably 400 or 500 bottles.
I've listened to
That's-
every podcast. So I was
that's
like, what
one-
haven't I heard?
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
one we've never
good pull.
touched.
Really good pull.
Book. 118 proof. Awesome.
The black box.
Yeah, that's really cool. Thanks, guys.
Welcome.
very much. It's
Be a-
exciting.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one.
We're just talking some of like the rarer stuff you can all of a sudden find in the last couple of weeks or a couple of months now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
bourbon
yeah.
market's taken a little bit of a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's good to find it what you want.
Oversaturated, it's
Yeah,
So
Get
they
out
had
there,
they
get
had
it.
midwinter dram on the shelf too. I was amazed.
yeah, it's been
I've seen
popping
that
up pretty
in
good.
different stores.
That's normally
Yeah.
something I had to order in the past and then wait for it.
Yeah, it's getting. I think it's the perfect timing. Just like generally our luck is, production has just got to an all-time high as demand has
falls off.
decreased. This newer generation's not drinking like that they were. You're coming off of the pandemic. That was all-time high of alcohol consumption.
True.
You also had to
And-
like forecast your demand 8, 10, 12 years ago to put it
Yeah,
in barrels at that point and then just hope that it's something. That's got to be the worst
that was
forecasting.
good. 100% the worst forecasting. That's why you see a lot of 4 years now out. 'Cause, how did that? Obviously that discussion with the
Cheers, fellas.
cheers
Thank you very much.
with that customer was fine putting $100,000 into it, whether it was worth 20 or not, because it's what they wanted. They wanted it done that way, and they wanted that vehicle.
And a majority of our business for restoring cars is a car that's been in the family that they want to keep in the family, and they want it to be the way they want it for themselves and future generations. So, a majority of the, when you walk in our shop, I could pretty much rattle off at least 50% of those cars have probably been in that same family or were purchased because of a car that was just like it.
Back when you just were doing the first 2 cars, you hired a couple of guys from the body shop, and you're doing your own stuff. What was the first pay and gig? How did it transition into like, all right, well, these cars are wrapping up, I got to make money?
Yeah, building my own cars. I, would try and sell one or sell them to make some money, but then people would see on the forums that we were building cars, and so then they'd reach out and be like, "Hey, these cars? We're not finding many shops that are doing Trans Ams. Can we, send our car out to you?" And so it was a whole new, evolving learning process for me coming from the computer world and knowing software development. And I would, I learned how to walk into a company and basically sit down and learn everything they did from A to Z from a customer walking in the door to them getting paid and trying to figure that out. So I basically took that same process. I put myself through paint shop class. Basically, I got flown out to here in Chicago and got certified with Speesecker at the time to spray with them and just know it so that I could hire the right tech, knew what they were doing, knew how to, how to do things the correct way. And we even learned, water-based, paint back then.
Wow.
So it was within 20 years ago. But anyway, just started. At first, I thought I knew what it was going to take to restore a car, and you try and come up with an X price that it's going to take to build it, which is how we initially treated software development, but then it ended up going to a time and materials based thing, which is ultimately what we do with all our projects now coming in, because there's on a 40, 50-year-old car, there's just too many unknowns, and then the customer is going to change their mind every step of the way. It can come in and maybe we're going to get it running and driving and replace the clutch and fix the brakes, put some tires on it, and next thing you know, we're painting it and the frame's off and we're putting bushings and everything. So it just evolves.
And you're dealing with all kinds of different aftermarket parts that
Yes.
don't interchange with each other and fit differently and require a bunch of extra work. And
Or you get that, like we talked about it a couple podcasts ago, that standard thing of customer comes in, you're looking around the car, and you're halfway through and you got, it would be cool. And then when you say, it would be cool, all you're saying is, you know how we could spend a lot more money.
That's about $100,000. That comment.
Just that comment. It would be cool. And it's both ways. It's the builder, it's the customer.
Yeah.
I was thinking, it would be cool if we.
oh yeah, and then we also
If we were doing that, we might as well do this.
Oh, yeah.
And then
It just evolves.
yeah.
Yes, it's opened up that can of worms that doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So,
Me and Scott have a great relationship with that. It's a give and take.
no, you blame each other.
Well, it's a give and take. Sometimes I go for it, and I'll be like, I'll give him it'd be cool. And then on the next one, I'm like, dude, let's just knock this one out.
You're right. That would be cool.
Like,
but
that would be cool, but let's just knock this one out.
yeah. For what you're wanting to do with it, let's just
So we're just finishing one of those. Now the next one's going to be it'd be fucking cool.
Which one's when we're knocking out?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say we're knocking it out in record time, but the Mustang's kind of a little bit of a.
It's cool.
It's very cool. It's just not highly modified. Like we didn't mess with the body. It's got beautiful paintwork,
Yeah.
but it's not like it's.
It had 3,000 miles on it, so.
It was 1,800, I think.
Survivor car you guys repainted?
Yeah. Dutch Boys painted for us. Not because I wanted Dutch Boys to paint it, just because I didn't have the heart to repaint it. Just fucking kidding.
Yeah.
So they did a killer job on it, man. Paul rocked this thing out, and he took a burgundy and gray two-tone 89 GT,
Yeah.
which, hey, that was me saying, dude, I don't think we should do it.
And
I think
Scott said, it would be
got
cool.
like 3,500 miles, and Scott took the.
fuck it, let's paint
You know what'd be
it.
cool,
Yeah.
bro? And I said, okay, dude. So they took it, and body's all stock, but it is nice. I mean,
Oh, it looks way better.
paint,
White.
body,
100%.
all white.
That was still the
definitely
one
worth-
that I was like, I can't
was
believe.
It's definitely worth doing. Definitely worth doing.
Yeah, it could have been worth doing on another non-1,800 mile original car.
Yeah, that's 3,500 miles.
3,500.
I think.
What color is the interior on that?
Gray.
It's gray.
Perfect.
So we're putting all that back in it.
Yeah.
Anybody looking for the drivetrain, though, out of a 3,500 mile, it's an auto, which is not super desirable, but
Yeah.
there is a whole front suspension cradle with basically a brand new motor sitting in it, and automatic trans and rear suspension. That somebody should have that.
It's just screaming for a GT40 upper and lower and some H-pipes in your next build.
Yeah, there you go.
Some trick flow heads.
I just put that in the shop and just run on an engine stand. That's still probably one of the best sounding.
Oh yeah, this
Just
thing's
a set of Flowmasters and just a 5.0.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fun motors.
I had a lot.
Had it.
I had a lot of those in my day.
Yeah.
That's the one small block that put in your chest like a big block would. Like you felt it coming down the road.
To this day, if something could go by right now, out on 83, and I could tell you with 100% certainty that that's a Fox body with Flowmasters.
Yeah, because if it sounded
It's
good,
the
it had
most-
had flow masters.
That is the most unforgettable sound, and it sounds fucking awesome. I don't know what it is about the architecture of that motor.
I think it's like a bazooka tube or something. The way
what-
its
they were
thing's
like
built, and it just
290,
carries the sound.
290 horse. What were they? 300 horse?
I don't think they were that much.
No,
Yeah.
they sounded like
220.
1,000.
I don't know.
Such light cars, though.
Yeah, that's the thing they had going for them is handling and being light.
Yeah,
Oh, I mean, way
Yeah, that
back in
was-
the day, like the big boys were Dugan Mustang down in Atlanta. And so I just lived there, and it was you'd see that Dugan sticker on the thing, and I mean, big built motor, high compression, and all the things, and
don't
even
mess
with
with
like
that
a Vortec on it or whatever. I mean, I think I'm probably misremembering, but I think that like the rumor of the one that was the baddest.
That was the one they
like
put the $100 bill on the dashboard.
it was but I think it
Everybody.
I think it did like 501 to the tires or whatever, and it was just like in that time it
It's
might as
top
well
fuel.
been 2,500 horsepower, and that thing was not really even streetable. But now you're talking like 500's a lot. Don't get me wrong, but in comparison,
Sure.
Dodge is dropping their new, or Rams dropping their new trucks, whatever, and every single one of them is 1,000 horsepower, whatever,
Yeah.
and it's for a pickup truck. What we got carried away, but that's what we do. So, forum, people reaching out. You think you know how to bid it? Obviously, how many cars did it take to learn that we got to go to Time and Materials?
I actually had a friend of mine fly in from New York that he was restoring some Trans Ams and did a lot of like stock builds, and mostly like the rare cars, the Ram Air 4s, the Super Duties, the cars that people were spending the money on to actually build, and not smoking the Bandit car that was worth $20,000 when you were done. But he, basically kind of told me, he's like, you need to just, if they want it done, they're going to have to pay to get it done, because it's no matter whether it's a Gremlin or a Trans Am or a Corvette or some super rare car, it's all going to take the same amount of time. If they're similar similar condition, similar process you got to go through for body paint, interior, drivetrain, you name it. It's all going to add up to be very similar. So you just got to keep track of the time and materials. And so it was an evolving process, but for us, I had to develop software to do it. So it was easier to keep track of the guys, working on the cars and knowing exactly what they were getting done in a time in the day. And then at first we were taking pictures with, everybody had their own digital camera at the time.
Take the little cards out.
Yeah, take the cards, and I had somebody download the pictures and stuff at the end of the day. And then it evolved into, iPads and then obviously their phones, and it's, to where it is today. It's a customer has a private link to where they can actually pull up, see exactly where their car's at today, and not have to call and find out.
How many hours I worked on it, what I did, pictures of it before and after. Just makes it a lot easier for them to be up to speed and not have to call every day and ask what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great skill set to have, your prior experience to help launch this properly, because that's probably the I'd say that's the area where everybody kind of loses it in the hot rod industry, right? It's a lot of very talented guys,
Yep.
great metal shapers, great builders, not a lot of guys with your background that.
Even if you have the correct idea of you should be tracking it and we need to charge for this and all that, the mindset to come up with the most efficient way to track those things, to where it doesn't become more time tracking it than you are even. There's nothing to track because all you're doing is tracking.
Yeah. Well, for us, we had to do something, because when we started the Bandit run, there was an event that we came up with in 2007 that is still going today, and it kind of catapulted us into getting a lot more business, a lot quicker, faster, and we had to basically, kind of like you guys now, split between two different buildings and stuff immediately. I had to buy another building, move my assembly process to another facility, and eventually try and grow everything on the campus that we're at now. So, but the having the software in place and stuff helped us tremendously grow and try and not lose what you don't need to lose, but also keeping track of it to make it easier for our customer base to understand what we're doing and how long it's actually taking to get something done, especially when we first start working with certain vendors' products and stuff to put them in the cars, whether it be suspension, brakes, whatever it is. We want to know how long did it take on Bob's car when we did his car, so then when we go back to do the next guy's car, at least we have a rough idea.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's going to be the same thing, because
Every car's different. They've all got their own challenges, but we have a
So you're building a whole database of
Yeah.
times and tasks, basically.
As best as possible to at least give us somewhat of a range as much as possible. So like, installing a vintage air system in this particular year, make and model of a car. But there again, did it have air when it started? Was it a non-AC car? In the cars that are, from dry states are completely different than cars that are from, wet climate states, rusty states. You're gonna the whole process is different. Whether that car sat outside, inside, there's just so many variables on these old cars that you don't know what you're going to get into.
How do you manage the different techs then if you're looking at that? Because technician A, he could probably install that vintage air unit in 12 hours. Technician B, maybe he's a little less experienced. It could take him 24 hours. You just sort of average that? Does it give you like a benchmark to push guys to hold them accountable?
Well, for the most part, for us, we try and streamline that part of the process to those techs. So the guys that actually know it and know how to do it are the ones that are going to do the work.
Got it.
So we found out right away that, just like you say, if they haven't done it before, and maybe they're not going to learn as quick as the last guy that did it.
Sure.
But then also the parts can change. They're ever evolving. The control system, the wiring, how the vents are going to work in this particular car, it all could be a little bit different. And, that's all evolved, but we try and keep the same group of techs that are doing that assembly, doing that actual fitment. Tyler, for the most part, oversees the shop in general as our foreman, but he really focuses in on the pro touring builds and stuff. So, all the customization with the modern motors, modern drivetrains, gauges, wiring, suspension, all that stuff. So he'll guide the techs accordingly to, and teach them, hey, you need to do it this way, and then they can rock right through it and get it done. And yeah, just like anything, once you've done it once or twice, it's going to be way easier the next time.
Yep.
But
There's been
at
a
least
lot of times where I'll be building a car and there'll be another one coming up and I go, you just follow me step by step. Just keep up with what I did yesterday and match it, just so they can get an idea of how these cars are supposed to go together. If they have questions, I jump back over and help them. But
Great segue into Tyler. When did you come on board?
2010, so 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 20 years old.
he was working at the local Chevy dealership.
And that was when Dave was playing with the 5th gen Camaros, doing the Banshee Trans Am conversions.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
so they had sent one of the cars back over for some warranty work or whatever it was, and I'm like,
You
where's this?
avoided the warranty.
No, I go, where's this shop? They're like, who built this? And they're like, oh, they're like 5 miles down the road. I'm like, all right, I'm going to lunch. Because I had just graduated from Wyotech for Motorsports Chassis Fab. The dealership was just a...
Wyotech is going to have to start paying us.
I was about to say, I don't know if we got to reach out to Rick Love to get the sponsorship from Vintage Air for this episode, or...
I'll hit him up. I've always got quite...
A lot of Wyotech.
Rick
lately,
always
which
asks
rightfully
all
so.
he answers all my off the wall questions. He's quick to respond to emails, so I'll give him that. That one's free, Rick.
Rick takes care of us.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So you went down there and said, "This is the cool stuff that I went to school for."
I go, this is what I went to school for. And Dave's like, cool, yeah, maybe we'll think about it. And I ended up having to come back the next week and be like, hey, did you think about it? And finally one day he's like, sure, if you want to start, go ahead. Gave me the job, and I'm like, I'm not leaving until you say yes, or at least give me a shot. So
Persistence is
I got thrown
key.
into mini tub 4-link on first week.
Yeah.
That was intimidating, but learned that, knocked out a lot of those, learned the custom sheet metal side of it. Always liked the electrical, so that was kind of easy for me. And then it just evolved into more and more processes until I was kind of in the corner just putting stuff together by myself.
Did you have, at that point in time, did you have things like segmented out, or was it just build shop? Because if you're doing, the Firebird conversions on the 5th gens, and then you've got, resto mod, 4-link custom, blah, blah, and then you've got like just nut and bolt restoration stock stuff. Is it just all in the same shop running through?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, but we had certain techs that
Yeah.
we try and have the the stock guy that does the stock restorations, the stock builds. It's way easier if he just stays focused on that.
Right.
And then Tyler pretty much stayed on the customization and stuff. So modernized drivetrain, modernized suspension, getting into the LS motors, wiring gauges, you name it. So pretty much stayed down that path with him, and
We're all in the same shop, but doing our own
Things.
separate things.
Was that planned and intentional from the beginning, or just kind of evolve into it? See a lot of hot rod shops. It's like one guy kind of follows the entire car start to finish, and then others are a lot more departmentalized. You have bringing more guys in that are specialized.
So we are still we have a body shop, so we have a separate division that's going to do all your metal work, your fab work, your panel fitment, painting, and stuff like that. But a majority of all the assembly and stuff is going to go back over to the technician. So where he, as much as we can, we want him to help disassemble and get the car apart, and then know what parts we need to keep and what parts we need to disseminate. What parts have to get sent off to get redone, rebuilt.
That way, if he can't find it,
completed.
it's on him. Be like, you're the one that took it apart, dude.
Yeah. So as much as we can, that's the goal on the majority of the builds and stuff through the shop. But I like having guys that specialize, within a group of responsibilities for them. It's hard. I have techs that come in and they're like, I can do it all and I want to do it all. Well, it's not necessarily how we do it here. Doesn't mean that we might pull you over and have you help out if we're like in a crunch. There's something for SEMA, something for a show, a client that just wants his car by Friday. Then we bring people over that can help knock it out and get things done. So
We've got our assembly guys hanging panels. We've got our guys that are installing windows and adjusting everything, all the door seals. So those two guys do that.
Can we borrow those guys sometimes? the seals and windows. Those guys must be
That's
good.
a black art.
We've got plenty of videos. Say we try to
Sounds easy.
Try to post videos for all the 78, 81 stuff. So
Those are tough windows too.
They are.
They're just that window's just like
yeah.
flapping in the breeze.
So yeah, car comes over, those parts go on, then it goes to the mechanic. He does all the wiring, major mechanics back into it, suspension. Then we'll hang front panels, finalize wiring, put the nose hood on. So it gets passed back and forth a couple times, just in different stages to where it's most convenient for both the mechanic and the assembly guy. But
How many cars are you working on at any given time right now, today?
in the shop, or
15 to 20. We usually have spread out between different processes or different stages.
Has it been that number for a while?
I would say that number's low.
It might be low.
It's including our south shop. There's probably 30 to 40 at a time.
So we have another part of our shop that basically is we'll have local guys that come in and want oil change, brake job, just my clutch,
It's all vintage air.
Nice.
get the AC working, whatever it is, and help do that stuff. But then they're great at also taking cars that these guys have built and doing like some more test driving and checking over before something goes out the door too, because they're working on different aspects and of different builds, different type of processes and stuff. Even though
Good punch list, guys.
yeah, and Tyler tries to do all his punch lists, but a lot of times you get tunnel vision when you're doing a punch list and you think you got everything covered.
Yep.
Second set of eyes,
You gotta
third
get-
set of eyes. Somebody's
Oh,
going to
you
see
will-
something you didn't.
We do that shit all the time, from steering, brakes, and ride quality and stuff.
Well, some of those
you
things
get
are
numb.
subjective, right? So there's not a definitive. This is not right. It's good to get different opinions.
Four 9 inches. Is that too loud?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Some
How
are
loud's your
challenging.
stereo turned up?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because they're making noise. It's just
How much?
how much.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something that we work through a lot. I mean, just recently, three of us all bounce back and forth and tell them to go hop in that car.
Yep.
Hey, man, that car's out front. Take a look at it. And I try not to. You don't want to give your opinion ahead of time. You want
Just tell me what you
get in the
think.
car. Tell me
Yeah.
what you think.
Yep.
Or it'd be like Tim when I tell Tim, like, dude, don't tell me. Yeah, just take it for a run. Yeah, it's pretty fucking good, man. Like, yeah. Dude, just
Yeah.
yeah.
All you did was go out and spin the tires, didn't you, Tim? Just come on. But you're talking about the Bandit Run thing when that started. How did that get started, and why?
Well, we were approaching I think it was the 30th anniversary of the movie, and I had a gentleman, a client of mine. His name was David Hershey. He actually worked for a news station out of Dallas. He was up at our shop filming us finishing some assembly on his black and gold 77 Trans Am, tan interior, 4-speed car that I had found from the original family out of Arizona. We went and sat down over some Mexican, and we were just kind of shooting the crap about, hey, well, the anniversary's coming up. What if we got in our cars and drove from Texarkana to Atlanta like Bert did in the movie? Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. So then all of a sudden my wheels start spinning. I'm like,
I bet a lot of people would like to do this.
So I registered a domain name. I put an ad in Hemmings Motor News and in a couple of magazines that all it said was wanted, you and your Trans Am. And it had a phone number, and it was my wife's cell phone. Well, it took off. We were getting phone calls nonstop, people that wanted to join in. I didn't even know what we were in for when we got to the start of the event in Texarkana. So we started everything at their museum in Texarkana, and we had Hot Rod TV, DIY Network, Hemmings Motor News, all different types of trade rags and stuff that just showed up. I didn't even know they were coming. And Hemmings actually bought a car off of probably through Hemmings magazine, right.
Yeah.
A black Trans Am, sent it to a local mechanic and said, get this car ready, we're going to drive it to Texarkana. Well, it ended up being the car that we worked on the whole way, but in general, we had, I think, 40 some cars starting out, 45 somewhere in there, and then by the time we hit Atlanta, we were over 100 cars.
Wow.
And I teamed up with Year One because they were...
I thought you did some stuff with Year One back in the day.
They were the big parts seller at the time. Kevin King reached out to me, and he's
They're
like,
in Atlanta.
we're doing something with Burt Reynolds, and we'd like to be able to tie it into your Bandit Run event. And ultimately, that's when they were getting ready to build the Burt Reynolds Edition Trans Am. So they had their first one done, and Chip Foose was there, Burt was there. We ended up basically going to Road Atlanta is where we ended up, and we had all the cars on the track, and we ended up doing a lot of slow-mo video with all the black and gold Trans Ams leading all the rest of the cars, and it's all on Hot Rod TV and stuff.
That's
on
cool.
Different episodes. So that was a huge injection to our business and stuff at the time. And the Bandit Run was something that I worked a lot with Kevin at the beginning because we always wanted to end in Atlanta, but we would make different routes to get there. And Kevin had the big facility. We could have a huge parking lot to park, and there's plenty of stuff going on just on the outskirts of Atlanta, and so it made it nice. But then, as it evolved, we kind of decided to start just doing completely different routes and having different ending points. And obviously, I have car clubs from different parts of the country reaching out. Hey, can you include our city, include our club, come to our town, end here, come through here, whatever it is. So it just evolved over the years. And the only year we missed was the year of COVID. And otherwise, we've done it every year since.
Wow.
2007 was the first year. Done it every year. We are in Pigeon Forge this year, actually next week, for the Pontiacs of Pigeon Forge. We teamed up with them. They've been asking us for years to join their event, so we're going to do something down there. We're going to do a cruise down Dragon's Tail with a bunch of the cars next week, and then just big car show and stuff. So, but it's fairly subdued compared to what we normally do in years past. But next year is an anniversary year, so every 5 years we'll go back to Texarkana to Atlanta, and it's going to be a pretty big event. So we'll have over 150 cars this year. We'll probably be somewhere in the 300 to 500 next year.
Wow, that's a hell of an event, man.
Wow.
So
Good job on that. That's cool.
I've got a lot of pretty big stuff that's going to be happening. We were so in the 40th anniversary for the Bandit Run. We stretched over 15 miles long of cars, mostly Trans Ams, going down the highways and interstates. We have to coordinate with State Patrol, Sheriff's Department, local PD, everybody the whole way, because we are.
Do you do that up front, or do you just kind of
We
pick
have-
them up as you go along and they pull you over?
Well, we do as much as we can up front, but they actually will join us along the way, and then they'll hand it off to the
Gotta
next.
get you a snowman. You gotta
does
get you a snowman.
How does that work? Like that process, who do you reach out to? What kind of resistance are you met with? Or are they sort of, is it like welcoming you with open arms?
A majority of it's welcoming us with open arms, just because we're bringing a lot of business
Through their towns.
to their
yeah.
towns, to their cities, and it's something different that they just don't normally get. I mean,
Yeah.
there's car shows that come to towns and stuff, but not a traveling car show like this that you're going to see a lot of the same, types of vehicles and stuff, and it's pretty neat to see a lot of Trans Ams, Firebirds, and stuff going down the road. Even though we don't disseminate, and you can drive a Camaro, Corvette, I don't care what it is. Just join us, any forking thing. So it's fun, and the police a lot of times they just join in and be a part of the event. We're not. It's not a race. We're not trying to get there as quick as possible. We don't try and get people to speed or anything. Obviously, people they're going to do their own thing, and if they do, then it'll happen what happens.
Yeah, we're all grown adults.
So
I'll say the event's going to happen either way. The police are just happy to have a heads up and be able to staff a few extra people and be prepared for it.
Yeah, know what's going on.
yeah,
When you get all those cars coming through.
we try to just remind everybody that, especially if it's during the day, that, hey, there's local businesses, people that need to get to work, so on and so forth. Let them in, let them do their thing. Because, we're like a traffic jam going down the road. So, and people don't like to get out of line. They don't like people cutting in front of them.
Yeah.
So, but it's one of those things that once you've been on it before and you get used to the process and what it entails, and it's actually helped spin off a lot of different types of events that are similar in other cities and states and stuff too. Different names, but at least it's getting people out in their cars to drive them and enjoy them, and that's the main thing. So,
Is that how you got hooked up with Richard Rawlings to the Bandit stuff?
yeah, actually, his production agency, the Pilgrim, reached out to me to get a hold of Bert
Okay.
when they were going to do the dream sequence for
Gotcha.
his dual show, and so we helped provide the Bandit cars, the semi truck, the cop cars. We did all the filming at Bert's house with Bert, and then I went on the road with him for 2 weeks and did all the filming in the Dallas area, and then we ended up in Shreveport, where we ended that, and so then that's how I got teamed up with Richard and Dennis, and then started doing different events with them over the years, and including them in different things we had going on, and whether it's different builds or different things along the way. So
Or drinking beer.
definitely drinking beer.
You don't have anything you want to ask about Burt? You're such a big Burt Reynolds fan. This is like this is an opportunity for you. Is there anything
But
you want to know?
You don't go fishing in stock ponds. That's not, that ain't even. It's
nothing
like
you
going
wanna
to
know?
look at this 5-pound bass I just caught, and you paid to fish there.
Huh?
I mean, I can ask it. You know the answer.
Well, no, I just didn't know.
Oh,
if
that's
if
not
there's
even-
anything you
that's
want to
not
know
even
about
a
the
question.
If you
So-
want to know
Yeah,
about
it's
the
exactly
man,
what I mean.
the man, do you have anything that you've wondered about him? Like, he knows him. He's hung out with
He
him.
doesn't know him. Yeah, I don't. Well, two things. I don't want to taint what I feel about Bert, right?
Okay.
So I don't want to know any kind of if he's gonna be like, yeah, it's kind of a fucking asshole. I don't want to know that, right? I don't want to know that.
So Bert
You
is
wanna-
far from that.
Okay.
He is the most southern gentleman you'll ever know, and he's probably one of the smartest guys I've ever met. He could read a book this thick twice in a day and remember everything he read.
Wow.
Damn.
And when he would watch a movie, he would critique everything about it and go back to square one and all the way through. The guy, when he would tell stories, everybody was silent because it was like the storytelling process
I bet he had stories
to the nth degree of things that you never even, yes, yeah, and great stories. The first time I actually got to hang out with him was in Las Vegas. Kevin King and I flew out there. It was when Kevin was building the Burt Reynolds Edition Trans Ams. We were helping do some of the initial fab work, paint work, and then we'd send the car back and they'd do the assembly down at year one. Kevin and I went out and helped Burt at a signing he did in Caesar's Palace. And so we kind of looked like big dudes standing next to Burt while he's signing everybody's autographs, but hanging out with him for dinner, lunch, and stuff like that. But it was just incredible the attention that he would get. I mean, we took him back to his room, and he was getting frail as the years went by. I worked with him for over a decade.
Wow.
And, and obviously each year progressed accordingly, but at Caesar's, we'd take him back to his room. We'd open the door. There'd be 3 sets of keys and notes slid underneath the door. For Bert's attention.
My man. No, you got to understand though, like
Never stop laying it down.
the difference. I mean, this is not drawing like a correlation stuff. The Stallone was purposely.
I'm not trying to make comparisons.
No, I know that. He was purposely more of a recluse and pulled away from your general Hollywood life. But Burt, like early days, he was for almost a decade, if not a decade, the biggest movie star on the face of the planet and owned Hollywood. Like if Burt, especially with Burt and Lonnie, or if Burt was at your event or your grand opening or at your restaurant or at your comedy club or at the thing, that was the thing. Like he was president level of that's, you got a black and white picture and it goes up in your establishment because Burt was there. It was a sign of accomplishment for your thing in Hollywood or all over the country. Like that was the thing. Somebody talks about the good old days of any of these great places, whatever, the story's always like, well, so-and-so was there and Burt Reynolds was there one night. Burt Reynolds was there for the thing. It carried that type of weight for him. Now, talk what you want to about all the different movies that he did and stuff like that, but he was a businessman and ran Hollywood for quite some time. And it didn't hurt that was quite the ladies' man. Quite the ladies' man. Yeah, he played some football, and he's from the South. I mean, there's so many things that was just like...
So we helped with... Burt obviously grew up in the Hollywood scene and around actors and stuff. So at first, trying to get him involved in the car community was very standoffish because he didn't know who to trust because it was that same way in Hollywood. Certain people he felt comfortable with, certain people burned him over the years. But he would but as time grew, he got really liking we would involve him in the different events. Obviously the Bandit Run he would show up at several different times. We'd fly him in on a private jet and get him involved. Stuff going on. He'd even go on a short drive with us if to be included with all the cars and stuff, which he enjoyed, especially during the 30th.
How long did it take for him to realize that these are just car people that wanted to have fun and they didn't want anything from him?
I don't know that it took him that long, other than everybody wanted a picture and an autograph,
right?
And that's all they really wanted, and maybe to ask him a few questions and stuff. But they didn't want his money. They didn't want any of that kind of stuff. They just wanted to get to meet the man.
Yeah.
So, and he was always super nice and ready to do so. And I mean, we took him to Barrett-Jackson and ran that car across the stage. So that was one that a friend of mine ran across that car. It needed to be restored. We found out it was a car that was owned by Universal. They wanted Burt involved, so he got paid to be a part of the process. And it was the first time, and I don't know if it's the only time, but I know it was the first time that they've ever had a complete standing ovation at Barrett-Jackson.
Oh, wow.
When he got out of that car. on the stage.
I bet that was nuts to be up there.
It was crazy. Yeah. But, I mean, we tried to explain to him the security that we were going to need for him, and they didn't quite understand how involved that was going to be. So, but it was fun, and we talk about that a lot with Craig and Carolyn and stuff, and it was a very fun time, and having him involved with, you know, different cars at their event. And he was a car guy, and we enjoyed, you know, bringing back some of the history of the cars that he was involved with in the movies he was in. So, and whether it was not necessarily the car from the movie, but at least a car that was recreated to be like it, and then just to help him relive some of that youth and things that he did with some of those movies, and then getting him involved with that. And one of the very last events we did, I think 2 months before he passed, we actually took the Bandit Run down to Jupiter, Florida. We had it. It was all in the area, and we actually went to some different areas where they did some filming and stuff down there, but we actually set up a people could pay to get their car at Bert's house, in front of his house, get a picture, and have Bert sign their car right at Bert's place.
Wow.
And that was fun.
That's cool.
I wonder who has signed more dashboards, Burt Reynolds or Carol Shelby?
That's a great question. So
How?
I know where you're going. You're trying to word this one better.
What? Go ahead. Just say it as it.
No,
comes
I
out.
like that question a lot. Who signed the most? Now, a similar but different question is how many of each of their signatures are on those things? Because how many of the Carol Shelby ones, and probably the Burt ones, do you think are real?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I'm sure there's letters of authenticity.
Just like we always talk about how there's you know, how many 32 Fords did they really build, and how many are out there, how many 69 Camaros, and how many. There's probably a lot of Carol Shelby signatures that Carol never signed.
You're probably right, because I'd say about 75% of the Cobras seem to have a.
You have to have
somehow.
it.
They're like popping up now, like just finished, brand new. Like, you just got Carol Shelby's autograph on it. How did that
In a West Glove Box store.
Yeah, I think that's a
was that?
water slide decal that you saw.
What was that comedy movie we used to always joke about where they had original Bandit car movie or original movie car from the Bandit?
I don't remember.
Do you remember what it was like? Early 2000s. They owned a car dealership and they had a Smoking the Bandit car
yes.
up on a pedestal.
Yes, actually, that was a car that we built that was
Really?
in that movie. Yeah. Is it at odds? What is it?
It's not the Goods.
The Goods.
Don, yeah,
Yeah.
Don,
Was it the
that's
Goods?
Don
Yeah, the
Reddy.
Goods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah. It's, yeah.
I remember the goods. I
Right.
didn't think it was from the goods.
Yeah, that was. It was sitting up on the.
So David Hershey
Yeah, great
that helped me spin off the idea for the Bandit Run, and he's still, him and his wife Lori are still involved in helping run the event every year and plan what we're doing. They were living in California. They moved to California after they left Dallas, and he was in California. I got a phone call from Hollywood because they were going to produce this movie, and they needed a Trans Am for the show. So I'm like, hey, David Hershey's got one of our cars. It's a black and gold Trans Am. It's out there. They used it, and actually, it was in that movie. That was his car.
That's awesome.
I'm surprised that movie hasn't been brought up on here. That's
Yeah.
a phenomenal movie.
I don't know the movie.
Have you not seen it?
No, I've never seen it.
It's with Jeremy Piven.
Yep.
I
Okay.
played you
Dude,
the
you would
the
love it.
intro
Oh,
when
it's
he's
the-
on
he's
the
the-
Like
airplane.
a cigarette on the plane. We're gonna burn
yes.
one for America or something.
I get some of the reference. I have not watched that movie.
Oh, it is
Unbelievable.
so good.
I
His
think that-
business cards. I sell cars, motherfucker.
I'm sending
Sell them
before I
out.
forget. I'm sending myself an email
That's,
right now.
I
to
think
watch
that's
it.
got to be a little B-roll plugged in, because anybody that hasn't
This
heard,
is a $30 haircut.
Oh, sir, there's no smoking on airplanes.
I know. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Don't worry about it. I'll be quick. And it starts with ashtrays, and it ends with all of our precious freedoms being stripped away. And now you can't do one damn thing without someone reporting you to the Department of Homeland Security. Am I right? That's right.
You listen to Don.
I had to take my pants off and nibble my Old Spice down to 3 ounces just to get on the plane, Stacy.
They made me throw out my mouthwash.
I had to give up my bath jellies.
They made me breastfeed some old man.
That's what I'm talking about. But we don't have to take it, Stacy. Like Henry David Thoreau and Rosa Parks and David Lee Roth when he left Van Halen, we can say enough. Enough injustice. And when you and I are old and gray, we can look back on this and remember when we were 30,000 feet above God's green earth and we smoked one. We smoked one for America!
Heard him talking about selling the metal, or the opening line where he lights the cigarette on the plane is unbelievable.
They have the Nigerian buyback.
Yeah, a lot of
Yes, I've seen the references. I've never watched the entire movie.
It's very good.
All right, I just sent myself an email. Had to do that on air, but I'll forget if I don't. And it's been like the second or third time it's been brought up. How is the business of a Restore a Muscle Car and everything that you've got going on, but specifically the car build side of things, how is it different now than it was, say, 10 years ago?
I mean, other than growing, I think we're up to 25 plus technicians now, and the cars are more evolving towards cars that people can drive on a regular basis, to jump in, turn the key and go and take it on the bandit run, drive it, to work every day, whatever it is. They just want to use it more. And that's a big part of why we are here, because obviously we have quite a few of your chassis and stuff in the shop now, and it's not just for Trans Ams, Camaros, Impalas, trucks, you name it. But it's just trying to build the best quality,
the best experience that we can give the customer for their money.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, see, the industry as a whole, we've talked about this before, that parts have gotten really good. The industry is just evolving, and it's in such a good place that years ago you couldn't build a car like you can today. You try your best. You couldn't really give a customer something that was that reliable or that enjoyable. I mean, you can make a car fast, make it look cool, but
it wasn't that awful long ago. We all remember that you couldn't really do power windows all that good. You couldn't give a customer a power window conversion that was really all that great. It might move up and down and not have a failure, but there's a lot of things that have come a long way.
The evolution's been great across. Let's give Rick one more little shout out. Gen 5, right? And you talk about when you get a technician that just now figured it out. And sure, that kind of sucks, right? Because we've been down that path. We engineered things that the Gen 4 fits in. We've got brackets. And you're like, damn, this is now obsolete. But a better product came out. So you got to grow with it. And it's great to see that.
I mean, we were driving them way less back then. However, even when you were driving something and you'd get out and maybe gone in it most of the day. Hot summer day, putting miles on something, the air condition just stayed on high cold, and you might get some breeze off of it, right?
Yeah, you were using the fan.
There's times in the last several years, you're on a road trip, you're doing something like that, you're turning the air off or way down. You're like, it's freezing it, because you forget about it until you realize that your frost is coming out. Hey, turn that down.
I'd say
it's cold.
For the first 8 years that we did this for a living, I don't think we made one AC system work. We incorporated them. They were in all sorts.
You installed them.
Oh, we installed them in all.
The motors ran.
They were in all sorts of 32 Fords, right? But it was maybe you got one to work, but then it was on a V belt that you couldn't get any traction on the compressor. There was some element of it that just wouldn't work.
The condenser was that big too. So
right. Or you decided to.
As a roadster, you're just recycling the humid air, and it's just starts pissing water.
You had to hardline the whole thing to make it look cool and polish it all, and then you had a pinhole somewhere, right?
Oh yeah.
Or God forbid, you made one that actually worked, but then you buried the AC controls up under the dash because you didn't want to see them, so you couldn't get at them anyway. You'd be driving down the road. It's come a long way.
This way. Oh, it's blowing. Oh, it's hot. I think you're right though. Given that experience, and that with that is those customer expectations, because of the demographics have changed, the types of cars that they're into have changed. The parts had to get better because there's expectations have gotten higher, and finding out what that, we've talked about that. It's probably one of the most talked about topics is finding out what that customer wants to do. Like I always talk about, what's the dream that they're trying to recreate? Exactly. What's the thing that you say? Is it backwoods, fast as you can go by yourself? Is it cross-country
which
cruise?
Which is very rare anymore.
Right. Cross-country cruise with you and your wife and the kids, and, which comes other creature comforts? Is it once every couple of months? Is it just to have and look at? And there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the thing? What's the thing? What's the dream?
Where do we need to focus to make this car
Yeah.
the best suited for you?
Yeah, if you tell me you want to go, you're going to drive it once, and that's to do the Texas 2K, right? Well, we're going to build it a certain way for something like that, right? And if you're telling me, hey, this is for my 17-year-old daughter to drive back and forth to work, but I've always wanted 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah,
it's like, then let's have those discussions. Let's start asking those things. Well, we don't even talk about style until after. But what's the story that you're trying to recreate? What's the dream? What's the thing? When the day you get it and you have the time, what's the first thing you go do with it?
Well, how do you
I
approach
really
that?
want to haul a dirt bike with it. All right, well, it's a Mustang, so let's figure out.
How do you approach that with those customers? You talked about at the very beginning the sentimental value of these cars, right? It's a car that's been in the family, so maybe this is second, third generation. A 28-year-old kid, 30-year-old kid, they inherited or they've acquired dad's or grandpa's 70 Trans Am, and they want to do something with it. Do you guys steer them into, maybe they're not big car guys, maybe they don't fully understand. Do you take the reins and do you steer them into something that's drivable, that's modified? Or do you make that car exactly what it was? It's sort of your duty to...
It's kind of on a case-by-case basis on what's happened to the car over the years. Is it still original? Is it low mileage? Like, should we leave it the way it's supposed to be?
Yep.
Or is it not worth anything the way it is? So let's make it fun and make it usable.
And I try and get a customer to step back and be like, just like you were saying before, how do you plan on using it when you get in that car for the first time? What are your goals with it? And can we focus that build based on what those goals are? It's like when we first started building cars and we started doing, high performance motors, suspension and things like that, or it doesn't even matter. It could be a stock build too. I have a customer show up and, we don't want to go out and like blow up a car. So we'll put some test miles on it, but we're not going to like spin the tires off of it. But that customer's going to come in. That first thing he does is he's lighting it up through every gear going down the road out in front of the shop. And it's like, we didn't even try that. It's like, so if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. So we had to start treating these
stepping
cars.
up our game on the driving portion to make sure they were ready for the customer.
I understand that completely.
And
it's a different, you got to learn there's so much to that conversation because we've been doing it all for so long, but I mean we all learn every day by being a customer in different things and realizing you learn so much through that. And you're like, man, I've always approached it a certain way because you ask those same questions like, what are you planning on doing with it, right? But there's so much more to that question because the guy's like, well, I'm planning on driving it and like that. And you're like, well, I want big brakes, and there's we were down in Alabama. I went to a gun show, and I was talking to a guy about thermal and night vision, right? I was talking to the guy about the helmet and the night vision and all the stuff that they sold.
You're playing Army again.
Yeah, 100% playing Army. But I'm talking to him. I'm asking him all these different details and the differences between these different, night vision and the white phosphor here and this stuff. And I'm like, and he's asking me, so what do you plan on doing? And I'm answering him like.
Did you answer him truthfully that say you're going to lay in your yard with Army fatigues and pretend you're?
Oh, he's going to put it on a
war?
shelf.
Yeah,
What are you going to do with that?
That's the point of the story.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
He's asking me like, hey, what optics do you have on your gun? When are you planning on shooting this? You're going to do passive aiming. You're going to do this kind of stuff. And I'm telling him like, dude, honestly, I just want night vision. All right. I want to go out at night and be able to see that one or two times. And then I'm going to have it like in my space, right? To have night vision. I'm never going to train and shoot at night. But if I ever have to shoot at night, I'm the guy that's got night vision. He's like, that's all I needed to know. No problem. Then you need to look at this. The point to that is I was honest about saying what I wanted it for. And that's sometimes you got to get to that on the customer thing of like, look, the technical terminology about this stuff. Some of the cool things. You got to have three. There's things that are set in stone in these cars, especially on pro touring and muscle cars. Like I got to have 355s, 345s on the back. I got to have 345s. And anyway, we can get a 305 at least on the front, and then you start going and like, what are you wanting to do with it? What do you want to do? Well, I mean, me and my wife, this will be our first road trip. You know, I'm retiring or whatever. We're gonna do the coast. We're gonna do
305s are probably not the answer.
Let's make it a road tour vehicle, right?
Do you want it to grab every crack in the road?
But they get, and it's not a bad thing. It's not that I'm putting myself in the shoes of like, well, these are the cool things. I just want it. I just want to have it. But now I'm also wanting to have it and do something with it. And the thing I'm wanting to do with it,
it's counterproductive.
It's counterproductive, or the things I'm wanting is counterproductive to the thing I'm trying to do with it.
Right.
And then getting to that. And it's not like you're trying to steer them in a bad direction. It's not. Most of the time, you're taking less money from them. Yeah. Most of the time, it's like you can have, look, we're going to make it where it's got power. It's going to sound great, right? It's going to give you a little bit of a scare and stuff. And there's times for the twin turbo Nelson, right? There's times to call Tom. But there's getting to that root of it is often more difficult than you think it should be, because you think that the guy's just going to come in and be like, yeah, I've got this money. This is exactly what I'm planning on doing with it. These are the must-haves. These are the nice-to-haves, blah, blah. But they don't have it, especially a 28-year-old kid, that he's recreating a dream that he's never even experienced before. He's never driven that car stock or modified. The oldest car he's ever driven is a 99 Honda Civic, and he thought that was a piece of shit, right?
True.
And it's like,
we've
got a different bar here for you don't need the 72 Trans Am completely stock. You'll hate it.
Have you ever had the ability to put somebody in an original muscle car that doesn't know what they're in for? Like a bone stock, and have them push the clutch and shift the gears on a 4-speed? Like somebody that thinks they want an original muscle car that's maybe significantly younger than somebody that's ever experienced it. And what's the feedback? What's the response?
I mean, when they can't drive a stick?
Or when it takes 2 feet to push the clutch pedal down, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I have a collection of cars that have as little as 16 miles in my collection to, our full Pro Touring build cards. So I try and keep stuff around that if I need to, I can put somebody in something.
If we need to gauge a person.
Yeah.
That's good.
And their abilities.
But the point, I starting out, we did a car for a gentleman out of Florida, and, he thought this was what he wanted. And then when he got the car home, then it was actually, this is now what I want. You don't know until sometimes you have what you think you want, and then all of a sudden you see something else, or then all of a sudden you get it and you're driving it and it's like, well, doesn't feel the same as my new car, or whatever it is. They're not used to the clutch, the stiffness, how the brakes are going to stop them different than their new modernized brakes, and everything, in between. So, but it's...
That was the story with the convertible Chevelle, right? Basically exact.
Yeah, he's of the age that he probably experienced a car like that, but he bought a beautifully restored 72 Chevelle. I mean, perfect, nut, bolt, really well done. I mean, surprisingly well done.
Nice.
And just found that the car was kind of useless to him. He wasn't like a collector. He wasn't looking for the showpiece, the trophy to put in his garage. And he realized it was just something that kind of smelled like gas, made the garage stink like gas, and he couldn't really drive it. Huh. So, we took it. He was sort of money ahead, even though it wasn't a cheap car to buy, but didn't have to do the paint work, didn't have to do any of the detail work. Pulled it right off that chassis. That chassis, the drive shaft had the markings on it. Everything on the frame was mint. I mean, factory AC car, everything. Yarded it all off, smoothed the firewall on a fast track chassis, LT4 10-speed, and he's blown away. He's never experienced anything like that. Picked it up, drove it for the first time just recently, and mind blown as to how the car works. People can't understand. Number one, they don't fully understand how bad the cars are originally.
That's the biggest misconception, I think.
Yeah. Number two, they oftentimes don't realize how good they can be. But then you get that element too of like people want like, there's some women who are like, I want like a cute old truck. There's nothing cute about an old truck with a 4-speed in it. That thing's going to be a monster to drive. There's the visual of seeing the truck on the hills in Nashville, Tennessee, with like a little, Mexican blanket on the seat. And it's like, sure, that looks picturesque.
They all need no motor in it and a hitch. You pull it up there with the tractor, take your pictures with your fall flowers or whatever, and then let it roll back down the hill.
But things have changed. Things have changed.
But it still has the look of the thing that drew him to it in the first place. It still looks like the 72 Chevelle, and it has the look. He's able to enjoy that. Again, nothing wrong with the stock stuff. It's finding out that customers want and need, right?
Right.
As if it's a collector or for nostalgic purposes of putting it back exactly like it was original, for whatever reason, that's fine. And the expectations are set appropriately at that point because they're getting what they truly want.
We're probably a 50-50 shop right now to where it's, stock with some minor modifications to full pro touring type stuff, suspension, chassis.
And when I started there, it was 70-30, like bone stock, nut and bolt. And so it's been really nice transition to get away from that because that's honestly harder than the pro touring builds.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much freedom with a pro touring build.
Right.
You can do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say I don't want to cast any too much doubt with people about driving those cars because I will say that driving that, I get that 70 Trans Am I have was a 60,000 original mile car, and car was like pretty dialed short of some patina. Driving that car was probably one of the most impressive muscle cars that I've driven that's been through the shop. Those cars drive pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like sway bars, big sway bars front and rear. Like that car was halfway pleasurable to drive. It was a little worn out, right? But for a muscle car, that's a pretty good car. I mean, light years ahead of like a C2 Vet. A lot nicer than driving any of the old Chevelles.
Yeah, stock A-body, yes, A-body stuff. That's
Right.
front suspension was.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, not all bad.
How do you guys get into the 4-wheel drive market?
How did we?
Yeah.
So he's always loved the 4-wheel drives. I mean, he always had Blazers growing up.
Yeah, and it was kind of one of those things that I think definitely with having Tyler on board and stuff.
I started dabbling in the off-road trucks before they really got popular, so probably 10 years ago. So I had quite a few trucks when square bodies became popular, and then between the two of us, we just started picking up every rust-free one we could. I mean,
the first generation Blazers and trucks, and I started buying them like everywhere I could find one. I don't care what condition it was that we were getting it, and we had a lot of them, and we actually had too many at one point in time. We ended up having to
Too many toys.
We ended up having an auction called the 100 Square Body Auction. We teamed up with Todd Carpenter, who's a big square body guy.
Big Fish Garage.
Big Fish Garage. He really good friends with Tyler and stuff too, and a lot of his buddies. But anyway, we went to Grand Island. We moved a majority of my truck and Blazer inventory and stuff out there with his, and we put on this big auction and brought in people from all over the world, and it was full online auction and sold a whole bunch of
But it
trucks.
was a daily lineup out front of 40 to 50, 68 to 72s, and then into the square bodies. I'm more of a square body guy, but Dave was always bigger into the
67, 72 stuff.
Yeah.
In that realm. I think he's came around to the square bodies again.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked them all, but I had almost too many of the first generation, so I kind of really overdid it. And it doesn't mean that I still don't have a soft spot for those vehicles, but I'm definitely more evolved into the square body stuff.
There were hundreds of them over the course of 2 years.
Yeah, we had a lot.
Did you have a shit ton of Matchbox cars when you were a kid? Just when you find one,
Hot
like,
Wheels.
I gotta have
Hot Wheels,
Sorry.
not Matchbox. Nobody had Matchbox cars.
It's for the
Yes.
K5s, the 67 to 70s, 72s. They just feel like old trucks. To me, a square body, I've grown up with them almost, and they didn't really change. Until, like, they ran into 91, basically, on the Suburban. So they don't feel, still. I mean, I drive one, I've got one. They just don't feel like old trucks. The
No.
K5, the 60,
It's an older truck. It's not
Yeah.
an old truck.
yeah, the earlier ones, the K5, they feel like...
They feel old.
Right.
Like a 67, 68 Camaro versus 69. There's a lot of things that went plastic in a 69. Those feel like old cars.
Yeah.
69, I grew up with a 16. It doesn't feel that much. I mean, sure it does, but not to that level. So those trucks will always be badass. It's like, compared to the Bronco, it's like a man's truck, right? The Bronco.
Oh yeah,
Like you buy a Bronco,
definitely.
kind of buy a Bronco for your wife. If you want one, you get a K5.
Making friends.
I
as
say it
always.
like it is. Am I wrong?
Oh,
Am I
no.
wrong?
No, you're not. I just love the fact that you said it. things we think, and then there's things we say.
That's the beauty of editing. Right?
Yeah. No.
We could either edit it or we could turn it into a clip, right? It's
Yeah.
whatever Elliot wants to do with it.
How do you feel on the 73 to 75 full roof Blazers versus
With a full
later?
chassis underneath them, probably okay. The way they are in factory,
Yeah.
still pretty soft.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have the rigidity, just like the 68 to 72s. I prefer
Just grab the windshield frame and pull it back?
just move it around. You need to adjust door gaps.
I never driven one of those.
You just push it as you go. No, I prefer the full roof. 76 is probably my favorite year for the square body. 76 GMC grill is probably the best to me.
Yeah. Yeah, we never had one of the early ones through the shop.
I like to look at them without the top on, hate them with the top on.
Yeah, short of building
Just
a
like
Jaws
what's-
replica.
yeah, Jaws
truck.
replica would be sick.
They don't do it for. That's the one area they're like something's a little off.
Jaws replica. All right, we're coming to standard questions. I want to give this its due because we got a lot of them and we got 2 people. So these get fun. Standard questions is brought to you by Good Guys, Rod and Custom. First up, you mentioned 2 vehicles that you drove. Were either of those your first vehicle? The Blazer, I know that obviously the Trans Am wasn't, but was the Blazer a first vehicle?
It was not like a first vehicle.
Okay, then great. We try to guess the first vehicle, so I didn't know if that was giving it away. What year did you graduate high school?
89.
In Nebraska.
Yep.
Your first vehicle was a gift, or did you purchase it yourself?
A gift.
Dad owned a used car lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
To say, fix it up and give it to you type thing, or
I'm going Bronco 2, just firing, because I've learned from my mistakes of not saying what comes to mind. Bronco 2, little Bronco.
I like the call.
Yeah.
I like the call. A rare Bronco 2 reference and sighting. I'm still thinking. We're going to ask Tyler the same questions and give multiple informations. What year did you graduate?
2002 graduation?
2009.
Oh, shit, 2009. It's tough.
That's an era that.
yeah, I said 2 decades.
But I could
later, get a
I could
point for
drive
that
at
win.
14.
You're from Wisconsin?
No, I had farm permit.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. 2009, you drive at 14, so that's 05-ish, 04, 05.
Same question. Is it family hand-me-down vehicle, something you acquired?
That was
Hand me down.
That was something that was on the farm.
Yeah,
And
it's
at 14, he just started driving
It's a long bed, single short cab, single cab something. Whether that he still has a square body sort of fetish after all these years. Maybe it's probably 80s. No, it's probably OBS because I'm seeing two-wheel drive a little impractical given the climate, but two-wheel drive long bed short
Chevrolet?
cab Chevy OBS like 90
Okay.
8990 8990 is what I'm going with. Got a little two-tone on her. That factory two-tone.
This is I'm going this is completely out of very similar, but this is going to be mid 80s Dodge extended cab long wheelbase. Yeah, that year Dodge, the one that you're like, oh wow,
Not in the Midwest. Not in the Midwest.
Dodge.
Those rusted away
Farm truck.
2 years after they came out.
Farm truck.
A Dodge? No.
80s.
No.
Just telling you.
No Dodge farm trucks in the Midwest.
Just guessing.
Unheard of.
And man, I want to say Fox Body Mustang. So I'm going with. That's my guess. Fox Body Mustang.
Would have been basically
brand new.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been like a square eye.
It's 70. Yeah, they started in 79.
Okay. Well, fire away. What do we got?
Phil didn't go.
I'm going long bed, square body, hand me down.
Okay.
So I technically had pretty much all of those things except for the Dodge.
Okay.
Right off the bat, but the first vehicle I drove on a regular basis was a 98 Jeep Grand Cherokee. That was Mom's. She got something else, and I ended up with that because it was reliable.
Teal green.
Purple. The dark
Oh.
black purple.
Yeah.
But there was
Had the gold trim on it, then, didn't it? Had the gold.
No, it didn't.
That's only the
thankfully,
5.9.
thankfully, it didn't have the
5.9
gold
is
trim.
Fire.
Usually the purple brand with the gold trim.
So that was the first one I drove on a regular basis. There was a '88 extended cab long box GMC.
Okay.
That was Dad's old truck. That when it was really snowing, we took that.
Yeah. Nice.
And then shortly after, there was about 10 Fox bodies.
Damn.
So
Dave, what about you?
The first car was an 80 Cutlass Supreme, 50 series tires on the back, Krieger SS's, jacked up in the back, deck shelf speakers
Oh, yeah.
That's a mean machine.
in blue with a blue vinyl top. And then shortly after that, which was very quick, I went right into an 84 Trans Am, 5-liter, 5-speed, silver with I think gray interior, and that was a low mileage car that my dad got in on trade, and so I bought it.
It wasn't that old either. It was,
No, it was
five years old.
It was like brand new. It was
Yeah.
a really nice car. And so then that's when I started on my Blazer kick. So then I started picking up different Blazers, and I think before I even graduated from high school, I don't know, I probably had at least a dozen Blazers at
Wow.
one point in time. But I had quite a few different ones over the years. But I went from my '84 Trans Am to my '72 Lucy Blue, white interior, 4-speed air car, 455 HO, and it had 23,000 original miles on it when I got it. I bought it out of Hemmings Motor News. It stayed in the garage. I think my mom had to park outside, if I remember. And then I bought 73 or 4. I think it was 74. It was done in 56 Corvette yellow Blazer, fully removable top. Never had the top on, so drove that to school all the time. It had 33s, 3-inch exhaust straight out the side,
Of course.
off headers, so it was loud. And but those were my high school cars, and then I started playing with different stuff as one of my in college, I went from my '79 Tram, went from the '72 to the '79, and then to a '70 Trans Am, a blue 4-speed car, and I had an opportunity. I had sold my blue car back to the guy that I had bought it from, my '72 high school car, and he had it, kept it for like 10 years. And then when my wife and I got married, we had just built our first house. He reached out to me and said, "I'm going to sell your car. If you want it, you can buy it." I thought too long on it. A buddy of mine was trying to talk me into buying a Corvette at the time. He sold it to a guy in North Carolina. I think it was a dealer at the time. He did some paint work to it. He ended up selling it, and it went to back to its original state of Wisconsin, where it was new. And shortly after that was when I kind of got into the building my shop and restore muscle car, and I started going to the Trans Am Nationals. And him and his wife, actually, that owned that '72, flew out to the Trans Am Nationals to come and find me, talk to me about fixing up this car that they owned, and come to find out it was my old high school car. And then 2 years later, they had an unexpected baby at Christmas, and I had a chance to buy the car back.
Wow.
Cool.
So I still have it.
That's awesome, man.
Favorite, or most, I say favorite's the wrong way, most memorable law enforcement interaction story.
Ooh.
I know mine if you want me to go first.
Well, with all those Fox bodies, you probably have quite a few.
So, my parents were both
Yeah.
dispatchers, so I knew all the local police. So there was very few interactions. I knew where to do things and where
you
not
knew
to.
where
But they were
holes were.
significant when they were.
No, there really wasn't anything. I have 0 tickets on my record somehow.
you.
But my most memorable was in Purple Jeep. I was 17. I was the farm kid, worked at the local grocery store. And so all those city people I worked with, they were having a big party out at the lake. So I was in charge of getting all the beer. So there is 11 cases of beer in the back of the Jeep, and I'm driving to a lake that I've never been to. cruising along the dam at like 35 miles an hour, sheriff coming towards me. So I'm like, all right, just play it cool, 35 miles an hour. He pulls me over. Why were you going so slow? Speed limit's 45.
Oh,
and I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. So he's looking in the Jeep, and he sees the corner of one case of beer. And he goes, pull over to those dumpsters and go dump it all out. It starts pouring rain. So I pop the trunk of it, and I'm opening up cases, dumping, and I get 8 cases deep, dumping them into this trash can, and he's just laughing with his window sitting there behind me. It was nice about it. What he didn't know is there were still 3 underneath the flip and fold seat up front. So we got back in the truck and left and went back into town and forgot about that party and went and had our own.
It's pretty good. Never heard of anybody getting pulled over for going under the speed limit.
Yeah, me neither. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
It's like
He's
a
like, you
Super
look
Troopers
really
skit.
suspicious.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and hands at 10 and 2, 35 miles an hour.
For me, I don't know that there was anything other than just some typical speeding stuff, you know, when I was younger. But I think my most memorable experience with a police officer was our first year of the Bandit Run, when we actually drove from Texarkana to, I think, Tupelo, Mississippi. I think was our first stop. It was when we first got out on the road, and we had all these Trans Ams going down the highway, and we didn't talk about speed and you know, the law or anything like that. We just all started going. So and as you get that many cars going, we started going faster and faster and faster, and weren't really thinking about it. Well, obviously we're going to run into a cop at some point in time along the way. Well, we ended up the first set of cops we ran across, and I got a row of, you know, 40 some Trans Ams with me, and I'm pretty much leading the pack. But we're going over 100 miles an hour down the highway with all these cars. There's 2 cops in the median, out of their cars, filming us going by, and not even worried about how fast we were going. But
That's good.
that was pretty fun.
It's a win.
So,
We've got one coming. There's going to be a good law enforcement interaction coming because we've got this text chain going. It's called the Road Tour Bros. Right? We did this road tour last year.
Great name for it.
I didn't make it. With a bunch of customers. And something that recently came up was like one of the guys posted a picture of his speedometer as he's cruising in a car that's designed to go pretty fast, and it was like 80, right? So then obviously the harassment and the peer pressure comes in. You're like, dude, don't send that shit if that's going to, like, at 80 miles. Are you serious? Well, then the ones started coming through at like 120, 130. And now it's a thing that everybody's like posting pictures of speedometers at sort of record-breaking speeds. And at some
A
point...
lot of chat GTP to make it.
Probably, I would assume, right? That at some point it's going to go south.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. That's how these stories happen, though. You need stuff to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we have from a Good Guys question. Good Guys submitted question. You have a road trip, 1,500-mile road trip to be exact, up the coast on the PCH, up the coast of California. There's going to be one single CD stuck in the CD player. What CD are you hoping that is?
I love this question.
It's a really good one.
Def Leppard.
Okay. Which one?
Hysteria.
Yep. Great CD for that road, and run it back.
Tough to beat, honestly. Def Leppard and a Trans Am, dude. That's
Yes.
about as badass as it gets, man.
Yeah. Is that a jean jacket over T-shirt, or did you just get a special jean jacket T-shirt that just?
I wonder what it is about the Trans Am that's just always been kind of like a little badass, you know, like versus the Camaro.
It's just a little more badass.
Yeah.
It's like a Camaro, just more badass.
It is. They started with the Camaro, and they made the Trans Am better. That's what Pontiac did.
They put a little more American in the Firebird. I mean, dude, Camaro was, kind of European inspired, right?
That's a
It's
good
a
one.
Ferrari.
That's a good one for the listeners. That's a good question to throw out there.
It is.
What is it?
What is it about the Firebird,
Not the Firebird.
the Trans Am, that made it more badass? The same way back
First
in the
gen
day.
or second gen?
Think about the WS6 in the fourth gen.
First gen.
WS6 coming up. SS was badass, but it was like more refined and sports car. You see a WS6, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
That's
First gen Pontiac's little
Yeah.
a little bit of a
Missed the
flop.
mark.
Yeah, not the most popular.
Yep.
Right?
No, they're not popular as much.
probably
as
because it's
Camaro.
ugly.
Yeah, because
That would be-
because it's not that good looking, right?
Right. I would say that would be the reason. It doesn't look good.
Who was it that sent one that we told him we're not building it? It was a convertible. Remember? The customer sent one.
Yeah, it was it was like a candy apple red.
Yeah. Sent one in and we're like, no, dude.
It was Lance, wasn't it? He was going to build it for his
No,
wife.
No, it was somebody else.
It was someone who was going to build it for his wife.
Was the dude with this 67 Chevelle, the Mercury,
Yes.
William.
Yes. William Fox.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we said,
Said,
no.
It was, yeah, candy apple red convertible 68 Firebird.
Yeah. What CD?
I really have no idea. I'm not much of a
Music
CD
listener?
Well, I mean, I listen to everything.
He was born
Podca-
after CDs
So
came out.
Podcasts,
you've got
music,
that.
but-
Yeah, you've got
Okay, well,
MP3 player.
you've got to listen to something on repeat the entire time. So what is it?
Probably hunting podcasts,
Really?
Okay.
gun stuff.
Gun stuff.
Yeah. Of why thermals are way better than night vision.
Yeah, I get it. But you gotta like when you're a collector, right?
I think you need to go hang out with them, play in the country a little bit. You know, you're like
What?
a fish out of water here. You're in the
I am.
wrong place.
I know. I get out and roam around the neighborhood late at night just trying to.
But that'll go over great in your neighborhood. Yeah, the HOA will love that one. There's a guy.
You got no
full
peripheral either. You
camo
gotta-
fatigue.
It takes you time to get like
Yeah.
spatial awareness. I'm like, walking down the driveway.
Just trust me, I feel crazy walking around in this stuff at night out in the country, let alone in the HOA.
Oh, don't get. Yeah. Why would you feel crazy?
Nods hanging off your top of your head.
Yeah, just fine. You never know. You're. I mean,
You like hog hunting,
Yeah,
coyotes?
hogs, coyotes, mostly coyotes. But
Hogs would be fun. That's something I've
I
always
was-
wanted to do.
just went down to Texas and did some hog hunting. Ended up shooting more bobcats than we shot hogs. But
Really?
just a couple of people I've been talking to about a possible trip for us down there on a ranch just to eradicate
Yeah.
hogs.
helicopter.
Yeah.
Yes.
A minigun.
All of
Those
the
look like a
above.
tremendous amount of fun. The bobcats are a little dangerous, aren't they? Those things are like,
No,
Yeah.
mountain lions are dangerous. Bobcats are 20 pounds.
okay.
Fucking pocket knife that bitch.
I see you getting destroyed by a baby
Bobcat?
Yeah, like a small adolescent bobcat
Oh, I
screaming,
bet you
running for your life.
I bet you they'd fuck you up. But
That is the night vision comes off and you throw it.
we gotta go. We gotta go now.
Turns out to just be a barn cat.
Yeah.
Slightly oversized.
It's a tabby.
Yeah, little feral cat.
It's the only downside of thermal is you have no depth perception.
I know. It's fuck you guys. All right. Another one by good guys. Favorite car show or automotive event?
You guys put on a hell of a good one, so that's tough to.
You can claim your own.
I definitely enjoy the Bandit Run, but actually, I really like road course driving. It's doing things. You know, we actually the Bandit Run we would actually focus on finding tracks and doing road course driving, or not much for drag racing and stuff every once in a while, but some roundy round tracks. But I really like the road course stuff where you have the in and outs, the ups and downs.
Cool.
And stuff like that. I actually have really enjoyed that. I've actually spent some time, at the track with Rich Rinke from Turnkey Automotive and done some some time with them on the track, and also the Dodge guys. I know a lot of the Dodge guys really well, and been down and actually got certified in the Demon 170 and the regular Demon.
Sweet.
And stuff with all the guys that designed and built those cars. So,
What about you?
Automotive event. I'm not much of a car show person per se.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, I go to SEMA, I go to Barrett. Those are things I have to do. But event, your party was fun.
SEMA party.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's an event now. You can claim
It's
that as
quite
an
the
event.
event.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Based on the pictures, it looked like it was a good time.
It did
Yeah.
look like it was a good time.
Right.
I don't think most people remember a lot.
No, the pictures are definitely helpful.
I'm glad you got it. That's a fun one. Again this year. Gonna be
Good.
good. Yeah.
Coming back.
The next one up, again, brought to you by Good Guys Rod and Custom. What builders are out there in the industry that you guys follow or think are setting the trends?
Oh gosh. Other than you guys.
We will accept that.
Yeah, we'll take it.
We will accept that as an answer.
I've been good friends with the Ring Brothers for years. Done a lot with them.
A long time.
Yes. Yeah. If you, 'cause they've been around a long.
Yes.
Because they're old. You never know. Listening, you gotta.
It's been a while. We've taken it easy on them.
We have.
We have, yeah. We've gotten a little soft with it.
We got one. We got a special one coming up.
Are we going to talk about that, or is that just going to be a surprise?
We can tease the fact that it is being locked down as we speak. A Ring Brothers Round 2, off-site, in person, out of studio
Yeah,
extravaganza.
Mike versus the whiskey.
at a unique location.
Yeah,
Hey, you guys need to help with this bottle because
we
I'd
gotta
really
keep
like
it.
to sign it.
we also might be. It might be a ruse as an intervention to move one of them into a home.
Who do you think's going in the home?
I think Mike's long before Jim.
You think so?
Yeah.
Mike doesn't know how to use a phone.
Recently I'll get like I'll get like a random 608 call, and I'm like, when I get a 608, I usually know it's something to do with we got a number of shops, and I get friends and stuff up north, so I pick it up. And it doesn't come up as spam, and it'll be Mike. Like Mike will get like he's got like a random fucking cell phone.
He buys
I think
burners.
Yeah.
It's the. Oh, it's a phone.
What blows my mind though,
Who do you think is more excited, that you answered, or that Mike like made a phone call that went through?
Yeah,
Oh shit! Someone.
Yeah, I don't know. What's crazy though is, like, Mike's not like an old man, right?
No.
He's a stylish dude.
Yep.
Like Mike's
Oh,
a
yeah.
hip fucking guy.
Yep.
And the fact that he just decided to not embrace any technology
Yep.
is a little shocking, right?
I think it's a little cool.
It is. He's probably doing it better than all of us, honestly. He's doing it
A
right.
lot less
Why?
headache.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah.
He gets everything done that he needs to get done.
Yeah, I mean, Jim, on the other
Did
hand,
you
I
get
can
that email?
understand, but he unfortunately has
Yeah.
access to technology. They should flip flop it, because Jim, you get the fucking this fucking second motherfucker, this goddamn thing, fuck this fucking car, and Mike will be like, hey man,
Ring Brothers, good answer. Really good answer. All right. You could do, this is the build. This is the one that everybody really enjoys.
yeah, this is a good one.
Unlimited budget. All the money in the world. Build anything you want. You're not building it. You are having somebody build it, a shop build it, a group of people build it. What is it, and who's building it?
I think I know what you want.
Maybe.
No?
It's gonna be like Fox Body.
I
from
mean,
Ford.
From Ford.
it's along the same route, but
I liked that a lot. I don't know why that one got me.
you're thinking off-road Porsche?
No, actually,
cool.
the Mercedes, I think.
Oh, the Gullwing.
Yeah.
I think I'd have Morgan Clark build me
dude,
a Blazer of some sort.
I'm a Morgan Clark fan, big fan. That's a
But-
good pull.
The SL is also up there, but that's if there's no budget, I'm gonna make more money off that one.
What let's hear more about this. Like you just say, just build
that's
it, just
just
let him roll.
yeah. Let him do his thing. No budget.
He looks like he's good at the no budget thing.
He's really good at the no budget thing.
Yeah, I think that's where
what
that's where he thrives.
Yeah.
That's what I really wanted to do in the beginning was off-road trucks.
Yeah.
So like through Wyotech, another plug for them, I built a full tube chassis Ranger in the course of 3 months with 2 other guys that worked on my projects. So when I got out of school, that's where I thought I wanted to be, was the off-road world. Baja 1000,
Sure.
Terrible Herps, somewhere in Vegas. I got offers to places in Chicago. Ended up back home. It all worked out.
All worked out.
Yeah.
Is it a Ranger or a motherfucking Ford Ranger?
Motherfucking Ford Ranger. Extended cab. That had a 4.6 with a whatever automatic came in the 2000 Mustang.
Oh, rowdy boy. Been C6, wasn't it? Isn't
Did
it?
you paint
or
the
AOD? That would
fiberglass?
have been
That would have
AOD.
been I don't even want to say numbers, letters and numbers because they're going to be wrong. 4R70W.
Yeah.
What do you think of the
4R70.
Range Rover he's doing right now?
It's beautiful. I mean, I haven't gotten a chance in the last probably month to catch up on any of his YouTube shows, but
Yeah. It's cool.
all of his work is over the top.
What about you, Dave?
I'd probably be a 73 Trans Am.
Surprise, surprise.
Ring Brothers. I've never seen them do one over the top. I don't even know if I've ever seen them do a Trans Am. Now that I can think about it.
Second gen Camaro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
the
and
Grinch, right?
Yeah.
Yep, which I love that car too, but I don't know. I think something crazy over the top.
Be interesting to see their take on that.
Yeah.
Would you give him any guardrails, any direction, or just say, go for it?
More track based, road course.
He loves Rampage.
Yeah,
We were just sitting out here going,
Yeah.
I love that car. I'm like, we can build
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
similar.
it makes sense.
it would
We
be
love
a
that car and
similar
then not
taste to
pick the
that
people
car.
that built
Yeah.
that car to build it. And it makes completely sense. It's like the people that come to us be like, hey, look at this Ring Brothers car. It's awesome, isn't it? I want you to build the exact same thing. Well, then fucking call the Ring Brothers then. I'm just giving you shit.
What year was that red Trans Am that we started? 75?
76.
76? That was a cool ass car, and then it just
Yeah.
kinda
Yeah, I wish we get to
disappeared.
finish that. That'd be cool.
That would've been cool.
That'd be a cool start. I should show you that rendering.
It was like a Rampage light-ish.
Okay.
You'd
be
probably
cool.
dig it. It's
Yeah.
somebody should. God, I wish that car would surf. The guy kind of bailed on it and then just tucked it away somewhere. California guy, I think, right?
Huh.
Y'all got pretty
Northern
far on the full
California.
sheet metal front end, right?
Yeah, it was like we were pretty far through sheet metal. Like the body was all straight. Now we didn't get into the doing like the fender mod and stuff that was on there, but it's pretty far along. I forget what happened with it, but it's a cool rendering.
Drastically different views on budget.
Is that what it was?
His budget didn't align with the motor that he wanted to purchase to put in the car, let alone build the whole car around the motor.
Oh,
Got it.
yeah, just got to get that money right. It might be right by the time you get the motor. I mean, honestly, what you showed me, it's not that bad. Not really that bad. Good guys. They've got some things coming up.
What do we got?
2 things. This is the season for the big ones, right?
Des Moines and Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, we can just
Coming up.
Yeah, we just do that. So, Good Guys Des Moines Columbus is
Spoiler
coming up. Yeah, first up is Good Guys 35th Speedway Motors Heartland Nationals. That's July 3rd through 5th. So that encompasses the July 4th weekend, that day, July 4th. Iowa State Fairgrounds, America's birthday and America's favorite car show. Over 5,000 hot rods, muscle cars, and trucks on display. At 5,000. That's a lot.
To anybody in the industry, Des Moines.
Des Moines. Yeah, I know. But there's things that they're,
You got to read it, yeah.
Yeah, so again, thanks. Make me feel fucking stupid.
You sound smart as shit.
There's 4th of July festivities all weekend long, including a Saturday night fireworks show, pinup girl contest, pie baking, and watermelon eating contest. That's good old American fun right there.
It is.
I would like to see the pinup girl
I was gonna say,
do the
all three-
watermelon
all three
eating
at once?
contest. Yeah. I'd like to see the
them all
pinup
together.
girl bake, pie bake, and eat the watermelon
With some fireworks in the background.
with fireworks in the background. Be done in an afternoon. Good Guys Autocross featuring the Optimum Batteries Duel in Des Moines. Shootout on Saturday afternoon. And the Builder's Choice Award selected by Tyler Nelson of Revision Rod and Custom. Then, kind of one we've claimed as our home show. We claim Columbus as our home show, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It feels like the home show to us.
We've claimed. I didn't say anybody else has said it. We've claimed it's the home show for us.
Planted our flag.
28th Summit Racing Nationals, July 10th through 12th. You guys come down to Columbus? Columbus is a good show to go to.
We got left.
It's a little hot, but it's a good show to go to. It's the biggest for Good Guys all year long. Over 6,000 hot rods, muscle cars, and trucks on display. The Good Guys 2026 Classic Instrument Street Rod and the Forged Line Muscle Machine of the Year competitions. They made a mistake. It's not Muscle Machine.
They pick a muscle machine.
They pick a muscle machine there, but there's also, they didn't even talk about it. There's also Street Machine of the Year there, like everybody knows. Good Guys Best New Products of 2026. You can see the unveiling of the 2026/2027 Grand Prize giveaway. That's going to be a 66 Chevelle built by Tim at Gap Industries. Then you can also see the awesome 40 Ford Coupe that was built by Roseville and Ben York. Moonshine inspired.
Good cars,
cool.
man.
They're giving that one away.
Beautiful car.
Then you got the Good Guys Autocross featuring the Forge Line Buckeye Shootout, and then the Builder's Choice Awards selected by none other than Roadster Shop and Dutch Boys. So
Right on.
I think that should be a package deal where like we build the trophy and they paint it.
It's been working pretty well so far. That
I
relationship.
got an idea.
So
They build the trophy
And paint it.
and paint it.
what do we? We'll design it.
We'll make their picks for them.
Okay.
That way they don't have to walk around and do the whole thing.
That's the hard part.
They build 20 trophies. Just put our logo on 10 of them, and then we'll do the picks. Equally as much labor, just significantly less dollars.
It'll be fun, man. Be cool picking. Yeah, it's always fun doing the picks. You get to sit down with those guys and everybody hashes out kind of their picks. You got to
One of the more
overpick 'em.
stressful things.
It really is. You got to overpick them. I mean, you'd be shocked, honestly, at the level of detail and the amount of work that goes into that. You know, I think when you go to a Good Guys show, you might think that somebody walks by and just sticks a sticker on your car. There's a lot that goes into that.
And their picks. They're not being judged. It's like, damn, that was cool.
Yeah.
It's what's amazing to me is when you do the duel, especially at Columbus, because you got the trendsetter of the year,
Right.
And us having to dual pick over pick because of those like 4 or 5 wild cards. We're just like, dude, that's just fucking cool. We got to pick that.
Yep.
There's some you can walk by and from 20 feet, that's the one you're
pick.
picking. And there's other ones that you spend an hour going over the details, and that's why you're picking it.
Yeah. And then how many of those both parties pick? And it's like, damn it, dude, you got the last one. We're getting this one, right? And it's really a lot of
Rock,
fun.
paper, scissors.
Yeah. Or, I mean, depends on each year who wins the trendsetter. Paul's not that big of a dude.
No, he's not. No,
We could just-
Paul's is like a sweetheart, too. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, no, super nice.
Yeah.
We're just gonna say, no,
I
Paul.
think we could.
we're taking this.
Force our will about him.
I think we've declared it. Roadster Shop's getting 15 picks. Dutch Boys getting 5.
And they're building the trophy.
Yeah, and they're building the trophies.
Dude, that's
Yeah. What?
it's badass, dude. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Heard he's got a Bobcat though. So.
What's next for you guys, man? What's the future hold for Restore a Muscle Car? What's coming down the pipeline? What's happening? Where you guys headed?
New drivetrains we're playing with, L8Ts to replace the LT4s. So
That's I don't even know what it is.
So it's the truck engine, the
six-
6.6,
Okay.
and then
What
completely-
blowers are you putting on this?
That's got the Edelbrock. So right now we've got 10 of them to try out. Turnkey Motorsports built all the bottom ends, cam, supercharger. We've got all the specs. I don't know all the specs offhand, but
What kind of horsepower are they making?
830.
Damn. That's the only spec you need, I think.
So
Yeah.
that was kind of where we landed, and that's pump gas, and we said, shut her down there.
Damn.
We'll-
So yeah, basically,
Put that in a Bronco for my daughter.
yeah, when we
Great.
When the LT4s ran out, we went, what are we going to do?
Everybody
I think
did.
they're coming back.
Hopefully
They're
they
trying.
Have you
Hopefully
heard
they do.
Soon, I've heard.
Yeah.
like actual solid?
June, July is what.
Who's the source on this one?
I got a guy.
You got a guy? Okay.
Been hearing that for a lot of Junes and Julys.
This will be the second
Third.
June,
Third
June,
year.
This will be the third June or July that we've heard that.
You might be right. I can double check on that too. So
But for how long?
I don't know.
Another June or July.
So I do know that
Until the next June or July.
I'm pretty close with the head of Cadillac, Brandon Vivian.
That's a shout out. That's how you do a shout out. You give a shout out to somebody of importance.
He's a huge Pontiac Trans Am guy. Actually, he bought a 70 blue Trans Am from me and gave it to his wife.
Cool.
Pretty much a survivor car. And he's got several cars going at any one time that he loves to play with. But anyway, I just know that they've been having trouble with the LT4 and the Cadillacs, Blackwing division is having a tough time with, getting the motor. So I think that's a big part of why,
Have you driven one of those?
Yeah.
Are they that good that everybody raves about them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Chumley has?
Yeah. And David, C10,
Yeah.
he was raving about them.
I have a 20th anniversary Blackwing. It's pretty much a one of one car out of
Because he knows the dude from Cadillac.
21 made.
He gave him a shout out earlier.
I don't have
and
any
I have a curated car being built right now that'll be a one of one car. Yeah, they're absolutely. Once you get through the break-in phase on those cars, I mean, they're so much fun to drive.
It's a 4-door animal.
Yeah. So Kyle Loftus was a good friend of mine. Kyle, obviously rest in peace, Kyle. He was a part of our shop when we first started. Actually,
Really?
he would help come down and shoot photos
I never met him.
of our cars,
Never
and
met
then
him.
obviously he was growing his YouTube channel and that took off. But being he grew up in Lincoln, lived in Omaha, and grew his 1320 channel there, and we have a lot of mutual friends, in the area and obviously in the industry, and being close by, we tried to do, things together when we could, but he's a huge Cadillac, GM, Corvette, Blackwing, he loved those cars. Anyway, we did a video with him
3 months ago? 3 months
actually,
ago?
it was on December 30th, right before the end of this last year. And then
Time flies.
yeah, it
This
goes by
year's
pretty fast.
This year's over with.
So
I
he
think
came
it's
through
like a half
and,
year.
Oh yeah, I know. It's going
This year's
super
crazy.
fast. He did a shop tour. I gave him the full suite of everything, we got going on to the cars that we had, and we did some fun stuff in the Blackwing. I raced his car with mine, going down the highway out in front of our shop, but
In Mexico.
in Mexico.
Right.
Yes.
In the one of one chartreuse green or whatever
Yes.
color that
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
or Blackwing.
Didn't they just drop a new F1 edition that's
They did.
limited coming out? That's stupid horsepower.
Yeah, they actually upped the horsepower and the performance on the car. So
You don't think he knows?
That's what I was
gotta handle
asking. Didn't they to confirm?
When they do a curated one, can you have it painted any color you want?
yes,
That's pretty cool.
you can do the interior.
Should
They
it
have
be
a-
Brewster Green? Maybe.
Yes.
Brewster Green would
It 100% should be.
Is that what it's going?
Not my curated car is actually shark skin gray is actually what it is. So it's a satin.
That's what how do you get
Brewster
one of those
Greens.
curated cars? You got to know somebody that knows somebody?
Yeah, he dropped his
Gotta
name
fucking be
earlier.
somebody.
Yeah, I know he knows somebody. I said, but does anybody have to know somebody to get one?
Yeah,
It's-
you
I know
just-
he knows
You
somebody.
just forget about it, dude. It's not happening for you.
I did.
Ask him. Maybe he'll hook you up, but
What I just asked. I'm asking the question. There's people
Yes.
want to listen and hear the
oh, yeah,
answers.
but the listeners would probably be interested.
First of all, don't tell me I can't do something.
I just did.
That's the worst thing to ever do is tell me I can't do something.
Okay.
It's not easy.
It's easier if you know people.
It is easier if you
understand.
obviously know someone. It'll actually at least get you in the list to get reviewed. But I had to write. I think both of those cars I had to pretty much present myself in front of them as far
Dude,
as
we
the
gotta-
cars
this
I've
is
had.
a huge podcast.
You know the cars.
This thing's everybody knows who we are.
Not present yourself
Screen,
the way you're thinking.
screenshot. Oh,
So,
Yeah, not.
That's an
I got saved in my
That's
phone.
a different list that you're going to be on.
I can present it however you would like.
And
It's
obviously,
all about the angles.
Obviously, that was successful. They identified who you were. And
yeah.
yeah, because he's got one coming. He's already known the color of it.
Yeah.
I think they're painting it next week, if not this week. So,
It'd be cool. So that's a car you obviously don't want to mess with, right?
yeah. I mean,
Put a pulley on it.
It won't get driven.
not much. I mean, my chartreuse screen one, my 20th anniversary, I got it through the 1,000 miles, so I wanted to break it in. So I wanted to feel how the car drove, and it's a lot of fun to drive. And it's, getting it past that point to me. I mean, I like driving these cars, but then.
But then he stops driving them.
Then I
Exactly. He gets all the power, tries it out, parks it. He's like, we can't put any more miles on it.
Do you think he's scared of all the power?
No.
He's smart.
Hey, it's a depreciation thing. It's like what?
But I mean,
Remember when you come across those things and it's the 4th gen SS and it's got 11 miles on it. Like who has one of the? That's the type of guy. That
there was also no break-in period back then.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
I mean,
now
all
that
these
everything's
cars,
got to
we
be
had to put
1,000, 500.
500, 1,000, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this hurts. We hit the 500, hit it once. It's like, all right, it's done.
I don't
put
think
it in the
that's.
shed.
I know the new transaxle stuff. They're real big on some of that.
The break-in.
Yeah, big.
I watched him
big.
one afternoon make hot laps up and down our highway.
Sprint
And
miles.
Was that one of the
The orange
Run on
cars?
the dyno and
The
just
red
let it
eye?
rip.
That was in a red eye.
So
yeah.
this was in a red eye. It hit 500, and then he pulled up in front of the shop, burned it down, set off the fire alarm. Fire department showed up. I'm just like, we
Yeah,
needed
we've
to
been there,
shut the
done that.
doors before this.
Yeah,
Like,
that's key.
But we hit 500.
we hit 500,
so
and now that body shop door is covered in rubber for the next year.
It's crazy how that smoke has a tendency to carry itself right in the overhead
Oh,
doors.
yeah.
and straight to the
Yeah,
fire
it's
alarm.
that negative pressure zone.
Yeah,
that
it
it
But
sucks
then
it in.
the fire department
Regular.
enjoyed watching the rest of the burnouts
Yeah, we were asked,
after we shut the doors.
we were asked if they could be invited before the alarm goes off. It would be much better next time.
That's probably the right idea.
I bought a 4th gen SS Camaro, and I didn't buy the one at Rockenbach Chevrolet because on the test drive, the salesman told me it
remember that.
has a Hearst shifter, and you don't need to use the clutch. You just grab it and rip gears.
Oh yeah, that's true. Everybody
And
knows that.
I didn't
It made
remember
some
that.
noises when he did that.
Bottle kill, bottle sign, a great bottle too.
Those 4th gens, you think those are coming on? I see SW is
Yeah, a lot
on
of
a
guys
little
bring
bit of
number
a
five
little bit of a
in the
kick
last-
right now.
Yeah, he called me
5 of them in the last
2 weeks ago, and he's like, "Should I?" Sent me all these pictures. He's like, "The guys are trying to talk me into it. Is this trend gonna happen?" I'm like, "Just make the trend."
Yeah,
Someone's got to start it.
they're
I'm like, "Yes, those cars are happening. I already know that the value's going up."
Do you think you could get behind the wheel of one right now and it'd be just like
it was a
a
fast
glove?
car.
Yes.
Oh,
just
yeah.
know everything.
Effortlessly drop into that.
That was
Yeah.
a pretty fast car. The,
Push the skip shift.
Skip shift.
WS6 Trans Am was always
Yeah.
badass. I always loved
Yeah,
that.
That's,
yellow
you got to
one.
be licensed to drive one of those though.
Yeah.
I mean, the hood was
SS Camaro and anybody can buy. WS6 was you got to go to Bondurant and get like ready.
yeah. But I think they're coming around. But this car's been popular
They
for
are. Yeah.
the drag guys for a while.
It seems like the 4th gen Camaro's coming around faster than the 4th gen Trans Am right now.
Yeah,
I think
Maybe.
maybe because of some of the custom builds.
I don't think there's near the amount of those types of cars out there that anybody thinks.
where do you think they went?
Yeah, they've
Low
fallen off the
sales
face of the
volume.
earth.
Low sales volume, or you
I
think?
think they
think-
went in the scrapyard.
I think it's the cash for clunkers. There were so many of them that got ate up by the cash for clunkers thing.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah.
70% of the people I went to high school with wrecked theirs.
Yeah, and they're all plastic, and they're really low quality. Like from a
You shut your mouth.
well, I mean,
Well, they
you
just
remember
didn't. They didn't.
They regressed. You talk about tough windows, like, look at a second gen Camaro. They regressed on the window fitment on the 4th gen. Like, those cars were primitive.
They didn't get traded
They really
around.
were.
It's not like they went to this off-site place,
They were
amongst
disposable.
it. Once it got to a certain point, it just got crushed. It had no value at, 10, 12, 15
I've crushed
years old.
plenty of them.
It's
Same with Fox bodies, so sorry.
Yeah, but at least Fox bodies,
I was from the Midwest.
people held on to them for a little. There's more people that held on for a little longer. There's the 4th gen stuff is just you don't come across them in the wild. But I think that's once you start getting past 99, you start getting into 2000. That happens with a lot of stuff. That's when you had the Cash for Clunkers introduced, and that stuff ate up.
That's where the
all
Jeep.
of that
That's where
shit.
the Jeep went.
Yeah,
Cash for clunkers.
$6,800. That was
It's
well
kind of a
worth
no-brainer.
more than more than it was worth
yeah, that it ate up.
when third gear didn't work anymore.
It'd be interesting to see. We got some really smart listeners that send us some stuff and do some digging and stuff. It'd be interesting to see units produced per decade and units registered in comparison, right? I bet you once you start to get into the 2000s, those vehicles left is, such single-digit percentage
Possible.
in comparison.
Do you think most of it was the soft touch buttons that nobody wanted to deal with anymore?
The stickiness when it got to it. Yeah. Camaro didn't have that problem though. There was all hard plastic stuff, but the Firebird had the
90s, I guess.
had the rubber coated, the gray rubber coated soft touch stuff.
I don't remember that.
All the
Firebird
sticky
was
soft
big
touch
on it.
buttons
Pontiac was big on it. Yeah, remember all your plastic GM buttons, like especially on the side of the console or the gauge cluster, whatever, was the gray soft touch stuff, and that stuff would start to wear.
wears off.
But
It's
the
turns to like a jelly.
Yeah, some of the Chevrolet stuff, it was harder plastic. They try to make it a little nicer. This has been amazing, guys.
Fun, guys.
I know you are a listener, and thank you for that. I hope that being on this side of it was as underwhelming as most people say it was.
I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not one for TV or.
Most people that have listened
Video.
before then come on there and be like, yeah, you know what? This is cool. I'm just going to keep listening. It's way more fun on the other side.
I'd do it again.
Sweet.
Oh, we appreciate
we need
Thank
to
you
do
for
it
the
again.
bourbon. That was absolutely awesome bottle.
Great bottle.
Great banger.
It was a little hot, but
Bottle
we
kill.
got through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Great flavor though for
Yeah.
Yeah, a ton of flavor, man. That's a good one.
And you bring something that's never been had on here. Good. That's somebody that did their research. You got a good one there. That's why he's been there 16 years. We got through the good guys stuff. Big show's coming up. We got some announcements coming for next episode. We got a new sponsor coming on board. So keep your eyes out for that.
Ears. Eyes and ears.
Keep your eyes out. Yeah, keep your eyes out to see it and your ears open to hear it. You can't catch me. Loose, baby.
I'm surprised we don't have more sponsors with that kind of delivery, honestly.
I tried to give a really good sponsor read, and all you wanted to do was just say, yeah, it's Good Guys Des Moines, Columbus. That's fine. Let's keep going. That's why we don't have any. Good Guys has been great. I strongly suggest you guys coming down to Columbus. Even if you just come down for a day.
We've never been.
We have
You
a
guys-
great.
Oh man, if you
Do you
guys
do Des
haven't
Moines
been,
at least? That's kind of sort of in your
We
backyard.
don't do car
you
shows.
guys got to go.
We have a great parking lot
We really
party
don't.
in the hotel, and it's a fun show. You see, so many debuts for Street Machine, so many debuts for Hot Rod. Great show. See all kinds of cool shit, and then honestly, hanging out in the parking lot and
It's
drinking
only
and
an
having
hour
fun.
flight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We get here 6 hours early, so
It's-
we walked around your shop for 6 hours today.
hey, there's at least an hour and a half to see, and then you got like lunch, and then
It worked out.
yeah,
It worked out great.
It worked out great. We'll see you again next week.